You aren't?
Just kidding, I'm ready.
Hi, ready.
Is anyone not ready?
Low ready.
I
That's
am
my
ready.
legal name.
Flo ready?
Yeah.
Alright. In that case, we're going to go ahead and begin. So, last we left off, your group continued your ventures in the city of Bazzoxan, clearing out and finalizing your business in Persephone's old home. Managing to deal with the majority of the threats that were in there, not limited to a massive Umber Hulk that had taken up Persephone's old childhood bedroom. You tidied up the place and had some emotional revelations during the night before you found rest and then continued your exploration of the city in the morning. Eric's talking with a few keen figures throughout the city that seemed interesting or curious, as it were. And eventually, the rest of your group meeting up and going to an old dilapidated temple in the corner of town ran by a Furbolg named Fogholm. Managing to speak with this Furbolg and learn more about the powerful relic that you possessed within your grasp that will no doubt shape your destiny. You took what you had and decided to venture forth into the city once more to get your bearings and potentially find out where you're going to go next. So, as we begin, your party just finished casting some spells to revitalize your familiars previously lost, and you now find yourselves, new equipment in hands, walking into the streets. Where will be your first destination?
Well, got a
I
meeting
agree
to
with
get to.
Eric's.
Yeah, okay.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day.
Indeed.
Yeah, we do have a meeting to go to. We can go to that first. Why not? It is fucking 3 p.m.
Well, it seems that there's a bit of an interesting split as to where to go next.
I said the same
Eridonis
thing.
and Eric's. Huh?
Okay. I'm ready to go.
Eridonis and Eric's want to head to a fenced yard across the street from Fogholm's temple, and Persephone and Panzira wish to head straight for the Gatehold barracks.
Oh, that was serious.
I can only assume that everything that comes out of their mouths is serious.
I just put it in the OOC, I didn't even say it.
Well, Eridonis did, so I mean...
You
And you're
should
getting
know
looped.
better than anyone. The
Oh,
OOC
yeah.
is nothing but a cesspool of
Look,
memes and villainy.
You gave Eridonis the idea, now he's going with it, so you're getting roped
no.
into
Give everyone their bad ideas.
it.
I'm quite alright. We should probably go and get our reward and the cool cloak. Because
Sure,
I want to see Fenzara and Persephone fight.
Good, because in the past 5 minutes, I've been planning up an NPC that I could put inside the fenced house, so you know.
Now we have to. Well,
now he's dead forever.
Now we have to go.
He just got erased from existence on to the
Gone,
Gatehold barracks. Your
removed.
party marches.
Maybe don't erase him, he might be back.
We'll see. So, a few things to note. On your way there, you'll be passing by a location, and unless you take the longer route, known as the Wall of the Unforgotten. But additionally, Eric, you were told at some point to head back to the infirmary. So, a few questions, I guess, on your way back. I see pings for the Sacrifice Engine. Would your group like to stop at the Wall of the Unforgotten or the Sacrifice Engine? Because those are the 2 routes you could hypothetically travel by.
The Wall of the Unforgotten B6?
Yes.
Can we not see both of them from the path that we're taking?
Yeah, I suppose you could, actually, if you wanted to. Depends if you wanted to take the higher road or the lower road to get there. More of a scenic route hugging the wall.
Oh,
It's
I
the line
see.
there.
Yeah.
It has been
that's what I was thinking.
literally 3 minutes, and my connection's already dipping. What happened?
Oh, well, you're on your way to the Gatehold barracks. That's what happened.
Okay, cool.
As you're on your way, you pass by the Wall of the Unforgotten. To give it only a brief description for the time being, the wall itself appears to be... I'm going to find the description box so I can do it justice here. A stretch of stone wall is carved with names and wreathed in... silver necklaces and ropes weighted with good luck charms. The ground near the wall is cluttered with trinkets left there as an offering. And it seems that this is, from what you remember Persephone, to be just a grave, or at least a list of names of some of the people who have died sacrificing themselves to the city. And specifically unpleasant place for you in times, as one of the names on here wasn't written by you. But you see it as you walk by. Nevertheless, no one seems to be here at the moment.
What the fuck?
It's...
Shall we carry on?
Mhm.
I know you do have a meeting you'd like to get to.
Are there any
It's-
other details
it's-
besides?
okay.
Are there any other details besides the names here? Any kind of eulogy, or is it just a bunch of names scrawled onto what I presume is a piece of, like, a large slab of
Yeah.
rock?
Just names and, like, little trinkets, some that look very handmade, old dolls, perhaps broken pieces of old jewelry that are just repaired and left here as some sort of offering. Persephone, being from the town itself, you would know that it isn't uncommon when you're passing by to leave some form of offering for just all of the dead in general, if you so wish.
I guess
It wouldn't
Eridanus
go amiss.
would want to ask Persephone. So, what force was it that's brought all these names here onto this wall here? Was it demons, or...
Most part. Really, it's just a wall from anyone who died defending the place. But demons are what attacks first, most frequently.
Let's see if we have anything to leave. Any trinkets?
Oh, all you have is trinkets.
I know.
I've got a mastodon ivory necklace that I'll just leave somewhere, and that'll be that.
Alright, give me 1 second here while the rest of you read
I'll
up.
leave a heap of cookies.
Delicious.
Eridanus will leave a seashell trinket.
A seashell.
Is that everyone who plans to leave something?
Sure. My god, you did it twice.
Anyone who left something, go ahead and add inspiration if they would like, if they don't already have it. In the meantime, we carry on. So, passing along to quickly describe the sacrifice engine to you. It's nothing special right now. Nothing seems to be going on. But it seems to be this. I'm trying to look for a nice description here. Nope, winging it. All right. So the sacrifice engine appears to be this massive bladed pit with what looks like mechanical mechanisms built in the interior, wooden spikes tossed in. Looks like some gory remnants have stained the walls of this dirt and stone pit with blood and ichor from the past. No bodies are currently left within, and it appears to be that around this mechanism are 3 levers mounted into what looks like an almost Colosseum stadium seating that encircles it.
Well done.
Well, this certainly seems interesting.
Interesting enough.
Persephone,
So,
you would know that sacrifice engines have been are one of the few remnants of the past that were left in Bazzoxan from the time before the Druids ever settled it, or any civilized race for that matter.
Well, there he goes.
oh, it's him this time. It's not me.
Some
Thank fuck.
vestige of their past might have been. Huh? Oh, yeah. These are a leftover vestule of the betrayer gods, something from the time when this was still under their control, and a temple dedicated to them. You yourself are not sure what their purpose might have been in the past, but you know that nowadays they're kind of just used to dump a large amount of demons into if a fight ever occurs. No, you've not really seen them in action, as they're not used frequently.
This pit looks quite old, almost as old as me.
Wait, how old are you?
I dare say perhaps even older.
No, really, how old are you?
I'm only 69 years young.
Wow, that is a lot older than I expected. Yeah, definitely a lot older than you. Stuff is from before anyone even settled, so we're talking Calamity era.
Eridanos would like to. There aren't any attendants or anything nearby the sacrifice engine, right?
No. The occasional Aurora Watch patrol or miserable townfolk seem to wander the streets, but no one guards the sacrifice engine for what is there to guard.
Eridanos will just quickly walk over and try to
You are
peer
right
over the
next to
edge.
the barracks. Into the pit itself. It's not a particularly deep hole, only a 10-foot drop, but inside are many jagged and terrible blades attached to a mechanical mechanism, like a massive blender.
Fascinating.
They track time differently here. So perhaps 69 might not be what you would consider it.
I can't imagine the amount of convincing the people who built this needed to finance such a thing.
Well, I don't think they cared much about money back then, but as for time tracking, I mean, sun goes up, sun goes down. You track it any other way, that's kind of weird.
I don't think that that's what he meant, but anyway. Away from the
All right.
scary pit, please.
Yeah, Eridanos is gonna head out there.
Come on, it's not that scary. It's just a bunch of blades and stuff that'll mash you up if you fall in it and somebody turns it on.
Mental note to jump into that pit later.
It's even got a splash zone.
On my home island, the sun rarely ever went down.
That's interesting.
Strange, but interesting, I guess.
Good old flat Exandria. Anyways.
Almost as interesting as a pit filled with metal spikes and a strange mechanism to chew up bodies.
It was a big event when it did. We'd celebrate the coming of the night.
I'm sorry, out of character, this sounds like fucking Antarctica, where like fucking an entire season the sun is up.
The other side of the world, so.
Yeah.
Out of character, it's at the bottom of the map.
Yeah,
I know.
it's basically Antarctica. You hit the money right there with that one. Anyways, is your group concluded with the sacrifice engine shenanigans?
Yes, for now.
Very well. In that case, you move forth to the Gatehold Barracks, and I'll go ahead and place you on the map. Swoop, swoop, swoop-de-doop. Gatehold Barracks. Make sure your tokens are in the right place. About as good as it'll get.
You could put my token in the wrong place, I don't mind.
Alright.
Guys, what are the odds? What are the odds that nerds secretly hit like a magic item down there at the very bottom of that pit?
Don't.
Fair
You want to
guy.
jump in there and find out?
Very,
Don't.
exactly.
Do
My
not.
thoughts exactly.
Oh my
It
god.
only appears when the pit is operational.
True. That is true. Well, there has to be some element of risk to it, right?
God.
Hop in and find out.
Don't.
Absolutely.
Do not.
No, you guys watch. You're all gonna laugh at me, but I'm gonna come out there with like a staff of the Archmage or something. Watch.
You did indeed put him in the wrong spot.
I did, yes. Yeah. He wanted to be in the wrong spot. As you arrive, it seems that all the buildings themselves are currently doors shut right now, but the training yards are occupied with wrestling matches and archery training happening all the while. The archery training wasn't happening the night you were here, but the wrestling match from the previous night is still going on with the same person from that night. which leaves you concerned for their physical health, but nothing more.
Eric's? Might that be something you would be interested in trying out? Granted, no medals for this one, but...
Sort of
here to
point
find
over
the
here.
general, so perhaps asking couldn't hurt.
It's
Alright.
over here. Yeah.
Okay, I'm caught back. Thank God.
Yippee.
Persephone, you would know that the general tends to say, and to mark the three again, this would be the cafeteria. This would be the barracks, or the armory itself, where the general would stay, or task hand in this case, and then this would be the barracks where people sleep.
Okay, no, we're not doing direction. Oh. Taskan's probably in the Senate building. Don't know where else he'd be right now, especially since he was expecting an audience, so...
Be it from us to keep him waiting.
Yeah, we can goof off after. There's plenty of stuff
Just
around here.
walk into a military building without invitation.
We were literally invited. And I'm gonna push open the door.
Alright.
Oh, hello.
As you do, you see multiple Aurora Watch guards and soldiery currently arming themselves, putting on protective gear, shining and polishing and maintaining their own weapons, and some chatter here and there. And what looks like a halfling quartermaster in the corner, wearing heavy merchant's clothing, with thick cloth wrappings, currently leaned up against a wall, just keeping an eye out and looking at all the new faces entering in.
Hey, is the Taskan in?
One of the Aurora Watch right here is going to say, currently in the meeting, but yeah, he's in.
Again?
It's an ongoing meeting.
All night
It's
I'm
been-
going, apparently.
It's been rough, supposedly, rumor has it.
Alright.
Hey,
Any
took a
chance he'll
break
be out
to-
soon, or are we gonna have to interrupt him?
I don't think he'll be out anytime soon. They took a break
Lovely.
to sleep and eat and all that, but nothing more.
Well, he's the one that wanted to see us, so we're gonna barge in if you don't mind.
Suit yourself.
Perhaps
All
we
right,
can wait out
come
here until they take a bathroom break, and wouldn't want to interrupt any important meetings.
They had a whole break to eat and sleep. If they didn't want us here, they shouldn't have asked.
Damn.
Passing by an Aurora Watch ogre who is currently struggling to put a massive boot on. Just a little too small.
A little too small.
Is it like a human-sized boot that he's trying to put on?
No, it looks like it's made of patchwork cloth, designed for an ogre, but not designed very well. It's a pretty bad boot.
Can I just try to help him as I'm walking by? Try and shove his foot.
How do you want to help him?
I don't know, just push with both my hands on the bottom of his foot.
You'll go towards the bottom of his foot and you'll start pushing as he's trying to pull the boot onto his foot. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Oh my god. This is gonna be
Kidding,
bad.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god. What is it? A D whatever? D4?
D4.
It'll do whatever.
D whatever.
D20. Extra D20.
Extra D20.
You
Nice.
you push, and eventually the shoe sockets on where it belongs, straight on the foot. Though you see the tip of the boot seems to break, and some of the toes stick out of the front of it as it goes in. I knew I shouldn't have let him wash it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And now your toes can breathe. Fantastic.
I guess you got a point.
Give him a thumbs up.
Goes
Keep
back to his
walking.
business.
Is it the left hand or the right hand door?
Why not
it
pick them
is
both?
The one that isn't locked.
They're both
They're both unlocked.
They
Lock
should
one of
be.
them. They are both unlocked.
Oh no, wait, no, one is locked.
Okay.
Okay, okay. It didn't look locked. They don't. It
The
didn't show
Aurora
the
Watch
lock.
guard standing next to us going to say, "Meeting happening, but now you know that. Good luck."
Yeah.
I'll
Thanks.
step out of the way. As you enter in, you see the task hand currently having an audience of 2 as you all walk in. talks seem to be tense, and the air of this room is absolute exhaustion, and just there's a bit of a temper. It seems like no one is very happy to be here at the moment. The Deathcan sees you all walk in and says, maybe another time would be more well-suited, but as he says that, you immediately see the armored paladin figure, Valdin, from before, raise his hand and say, nonsense. We've met these fine folk before. As a matter of fact, we gave them a job back in Jigao. Varen's going to look over to all of you and say, very well, then I suppose we're all in good company.
I'm glad you can recognize it. A completed job, by the way.
Valdin was going to say, of course. Do you have the contract? We could take a momentary break to discuss this. And looks Varen, and Varen nods his head. So, where's proof of the beast's slaying?
Alright, I think I'm the one that skinned that, so bag, skin.
You pull out the skin. Valdin will look over to you and say, fine work. Did it give you enough trouble? Anything interesting you can report?
Surprisingly, not as much as you'd think, though, the undead it raised were a lot more of a handful.
Undead?
Strange, innit?
He'll look over to
Didn't think you did that.
He'll look over to the mage at the other end of the table, who's gonna look over and say, not a common practice amongst Gloomstalkers. Well, then we'll say, hand the skin over to get my name's right, Lythir right there next to you. He'll go ahead and make your reward.
The Gloomstalker was sheltering in a cave dedicated to Loth worshippers at one time.
Maldim will say, Children of Malice.
That's the one?
Fascinating. If you could show me where that is, then we would be ought to send an investigation there.
I'll take out my world map, and I'll point out the cave.
Hey.
Should be where you marked us for the job. It's Lao is the exact same place as it, so.
Memorizes the location, says,
There was an illusory rock wall right around here.
Interesting. Did you dispel the illusion, or?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Alright. Well then, good work, all in all. We'll have your reward to you by tomorrow. Where are you staying? The ready room, or?
Yes, the ready room.
He's staying at the ready room. We're staying at my old place.
I suppose we'll leave it at the ready room, since we don't know where your address is specifically. And the ready room's right across the street. If you wish. But we do have business to tend to, and a long walk isn't on the agenda.
Have it your way.
Varen's going to say, with an interesting look on his face, I guess before I even say what he's going to speak up, first and foremost, as you enter the room and read the room, more importantly, those of you just looking around and who have decent passive insights or perceptions, Finzyra, you mostly, would pick up that Lythir himself seems to be giving curious, if not a little nasty, looks towards most of your party members, bar Persephone, and Varen himself seems curious, as if he's cooking something up in his brain. He speaks and says, I believe our friends here might be the solution to our problem. Looking to Valdin and Lythir. Valdin says, is that so? He says, if you would allow me a moment to speak with them in private, I think we can finally put this to rest. Especially before you have to leave. Valdin will say, we shouldn't stick around for too long, we still have business back in Rosona. Lythir says, business indeed, but that signature I was talking about prior has still not left. As a matter of fact, it's grown stronger the longer we've stayed here. I want to continue my own investigation. I'd say 2 more days. If I can't find anything by then we can give up and leave. Valdin says, sounds like a plan. I suppose we'll leave you all to it. As we said, your reward will be given to you in the morning. But for now, here. How much gold was listed on the
200,
bounty?
I believe.
200 each or 200 in general?
Just 200.
Alright. He'll give you a satchel with assorted 200 gold coins in it. And he'll say, this should be your immediate payment for the task. Well done.
And thank you for it.
Immediately speaking up before they, as they start to stand up and get ready to leave, Varen is going to say, hold on a minute. Perhaps you can pay them a bit more. From what I've been told, they've brought in a local bandit who was robbing people on the road. Took down his crew as well. The word gets around. Our prisons don't get often occupied. Warden always loves to have someone to look towards.
It was really nothing. We were only doing what was right.
We need more people that are looking to do what is right in the end of the day, and we should reward those who try.
We're not out for it.
Well, a little extra funds doesn't go amiss in the whole equipment.
It would help us finance even more good deeds down the line, perhaps.
Lythir says, the job would have been taken care of by the Aurora Watch in due time. We don't need outsiders to intervene on our behalf.
Well, it's a good thing you had an insider do it.
I suppose that's good, though a little uncouth. More vigilante than we'd prefer.
It was those bandits that accosted us. We only defended ourselves.
And Valdin says, and that is very reasonable to do. And actions like that do not go unrewarded. Here, for each of you. And he'll hand 100 gold to you each. Nothing much, but it should be something to help out. A decent pay for a job well done.
Thank you.
Of course. But that almost breaks all of our spending money that we had to stay here. Whatever Varen here has planned for all of you, you better do well. And with that, Valdin and Lythir are going to stand up and begin to move out the door.
Sorry, nerd. Would it be possible for me to use my telepathy just to possibly get a quick read on what might have been, on what these gentlemen might be thinking of, at least surface level thoughts as they head out?
Brains? Is that a thing
I can cast detect thoughts requiring no spell slot or components. So I can. It's given no components. I guess it means I can cast it completely without verbal, somatic, or material piece.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to go ahead and cast that spell, you may, and the results will be given to you. Whose thoughts are you immediately picking on?
Oh, I'm sparkling. It's Lythir who's staying with us, right? Speaking with us in private.
No, that would be Varen.
Varen.
Task hand.
But
Lythir gave you a dirty look as you entered in.
Oh, excellent, Lythir, let's go.
As you begin to read his mind throughout this conversation, the immediate surface thoughts you get, things along the line of, dirty outsiders didn't have to do the job for us, we could have taken care of it ourselves just fine. Shouldn't be paying them anything, as a matter of fact, they should pay us for trying to interrupt our time and potentially ruining a good job. And also, an immediate pointed curiosity, which I'll put into your private chat.
If it's cutting into your spending money, then you can take my share. I have no need of it.
Budin says, nonsense. Once we get back to Rosona, all will be well. And... Keep typing this.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
Mage hand opened the door for them.
I'm getting this typed out, so you don't have to worry for a second.
I know,
Sorry.
I'm just saying that I want to help them, like, open the door without them having to touch it.
No, to help you with that, I'm going to.
Oh.
Where is it here?
Oh my god.
I am going to cast Thaumaturgy and make it slam open,
What
fly
the
open.
fuck? You fucking
No, that's
Don't
too much.
do
And also,
that.
I don't think I can-
don't do that. Do not do that.
It just says to fly open.
Do not. Do not.
It's the gust
you
of
see a
wind.
mage
Prince
hand
Ira.
turn the fucking door handle and you just make it go.
Thaumaturgy.
Yeah, it does.
So they're all gonna
Verbal.
see you like
Yeah, no.
friggin' Naruto jutsu.
Don't do
hand
that.
signals, and then
Actually,
it'll open.
it is only verbal, so I could just Erdox could just.
Don't.
Oh, that's even worse.
He's
He's a
standing
warlock.
right next to
He's
you.
saying some weird eldritch
there you-
speech.
There you go,
Eldritch
Eridon.
speech and the door
So you'll-
flies open. Wow,
All
I
you
wonder
do with
what
your
caused
spell.
that.
What are you doing magically?
I
Oh, no,
opened
I'm
the
not joking.
door. I opened the door with mage hand.
And
So
as you're kind of reading into his okay, mage
Yeah,
hand,
yeah.
got it.
Ooh, okay,
Got it.
wait a second.
As you're reading into his thoughts, he just kind of rudely shoves you to the side as he moves through. Eridon
Oh well, excellent. Wait.
steps up the door.
Wait.
What are you gonna do before he leaves?
No, don't.
Oh no! Should I try to probe deeper?
No.
I mean, you can do
don't.
it.
Will rebuke.
Like an
If
idea.
you would like to do it, you can do it now before he leaves.
Insight
but-
into its reasoning, emotional state, or something. No, I'm fine. I like that curiosity. I'm going to
You
give
can
him
get
a
much
nice.
deeper if you
I'm
wish,
gonna
but
give
that's
him a winning smile, and dust off my shoulder, I suppose.
He does not share the same smile to you as he leaves the room.
Could be one of those like full teeth, all like showing all of his teeth at once smile.
Well, and for the reading of minds, are you going around to anyone else in the room, or
I
enough
guess
to
Val.
see
I guess
you?
Valdine.
I'll say you
as
can
he's
pick
also
one more
heading out.
person if you'd like. For now.
Okay, then Valdine. I guess he's heading out.
Valdine's mind. Towards the end of this conversation, it's good to have well-armed and well-trained individuals. Wonder if Varen's gambit will pay off. Lord knows he needs some mercy. And that's about it. Or a miracle, rather, not a mercy.
Oh, this lasts for how much? A minute. So, I guess I got a minute of conversation with Varen left.
A 2-day long meeting. I can't imagine the difficulties that you must be dealing with.
Varen will kind of rub his his face for a moment in anxiety and say, "It's been obnoxious, to say the least. Valdin is good company, but he is a representative from Rosona for the notable dens that we requisition Aurora Watch members from to defend the city. And unfortunately, with so prevalent war being over, things have been rough as far as getting new recruits is concerned. Luxon beacons are on the move, meaning that resurrections and potential reincarnations are less and less likely by the day. Meaning that people have started to play things a bit safer, which is never good around here. I've been trying to requisition more troops, but they simply do not believe that the threat is substantial enough to warrant it. After all, they
You'd
don't live
think
here.
You'd think after years of demons pouring out of hole in the ground they'd understand that by now.
You would think, but people from the city, keeping their noses involved in whatever outside of our own nation, they have no idea what's going on here. However, fortunately, I was able to get a meeting in the first place due to my affiliation with Denthelius. Not to mention, Lythir himself is interested in some sort of dunamantic resonance with the city. Though I'm not sure what it is, plenty of strange magics tend to pour from the Betrayer's rise on occasion. Regardless, a plan.
Right, let's get down to whatever this new job is. Considering you had them pay us ahead of time, right?
Well, first, I hate to be rude. This is our first time formally meeting. It's a pleasure to have you back, Persephone, and friends. Looking to all of you for a name.
Exandria. I like smile and give a thumbs up.
Pleasure to meet you.
I am Erix of Dracarta.
Jakarta. Where's that?
It's across the Great Ocean.
Fascinating. Haven't seen any of your kin before.
It's a very small island. Not many are from there.
Lily, perhaps you have time to tell me of the Great Seas later on. I haven't gotten to see them in my lives. Looks to you, Eridanos.
Eridanus from nowhere.
Nowhere. Alright. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Eridanos.
Likewise. He's gonna just give a small bow.
Of course. As for all of you, if there are any questions you have about the city in your short time you've stayed here, please feel free to ask, and I'll answer to the best of my ability before we go any further. I would hate to be a rude guest, or host.
You mentioned you lived multiple lives.
Well, yes, most people in my esteem have, at some point or another. Though I'm only on my second. Fortunately.
Is that the magic of the Luxon beacon that I hear so much about?
Yes. You are outsiders, I can assume. You do not know of the Luxon's light? Well,
Heard bits and pieces there, but a full explanation would be most appreciated.
saving the religious spiel about the Luxon, the more practical and immediate use for it is that certain members of notable dens, or some of our more well-trained soldiers, including myself and Echo Knight, we are able to attune ourselves to one of our many Luxon beacons. In times of war or great strife, we put the beacons in tactical positions, and if a soul dies within a certain range of the Luxon, they are brought within it and reborn through an interesting process which I'm not privy to share. Only the most high of esteem manage to get that privilege, however. Unless there is a time of war.
I'm gonna say it. You had mentioned your second life. Would it be too much to pry to ask how your first had come to an end?
Kind of raises a brow and says, "What a question to ask someone. And I don't suppose you can find many people who would be able to give you an answer." I have a brother back in Rosona. His name's Essek. Growing up, we were always into more dangerous pursuits. And I was told by my mother, the den leader, that in my past life I had been rambunctious. Too much of a go-getter for my own good sometimes. I wanted to do something about the increasing demon population within Bazzoxan, and I thought to take on some of the toughest demons that this horrible place could throw at me. I managed to get unlucky with some, however, and I found myself defeated. However, fortunately for me, I was close enough to one of the Luxons that I was able to be reborn. That was a gamble, one I shouldn't have taken. And with this new life, I've learned to take things at a more tactical approach, which is why I find myself here.
Eridanus is fascinated. Not sure about the others. But he's going to give a nod of his head.
Seems a lot more relaxed now that he's talking to you guys and you're asking him so many questions that he's much happier to answer than whatever meeting he was having. Some of the tension is leaving.
Since you've shared something precious with us, I think it's only fair that we show you the same courtesy.
Yeah. Be my guest.
The reason we've all gathered here in Bazzoxan, the four of us, is because we're tracking down a mystery, one that was presented to us in caverns beneath Jigao. I'll take out the Jewel 3 Prayers and show it off, just like I do to everybody I meet.
He looks at it. Very fine piece of jewelry, but what mysteries does it hide?
This amulet does not belong to me. I'm only its temporary caretaker, or so I've been led to believe. The moment I found it amongst the ruined temple, it spoke to me with a vision of sorts, claiming to belong to someone called Elixion, who was worshipping the Changebringer in a temple to evil in Bazzoxan. Whoever Elixion is, he's been gone for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. But he had great power. They built the whole temple to him, after all.
A hero of the past. And you've managed to find his relic.
I think it's some sort of divine artifact.
Fascinating. And you believe your answer lies here?
It must be connected to Betrayer's Rise. Or at least some clue that'll point us in the direction of its true owner.
I see. So you wish to enter the wretched temple?
That's pretty much what he's been saying the entire way up here.
Well, I have no reason not to trust you and your intuition. If you believe that this temple holds potential answers, then I would allow you to enter its hoard halls to hopefully find them. However, not without warning. There are many features of the temple itself that only someone who's lived here as long as I potentially hope to share with you, if you'd be inclined to listen.
Certainly.
The first and most important is that we've never been able to map out the temple in any of our years. We have explored it and done multiple expeditions. As a matter of fact, an expedition went in recently with some of our own Aurora Watch from a organization across the seas known as the Cobalt Soul. They have yet to return. We assume the worst but hope the best. But, point being, the temple itself is different for everybody that enters, and sometimes even for when you enter a second time.
I've met the member of the Cobalt Soul.
Have you?
It was a learned scholar by the name of Question. She mentioned her party had gone into the temple recently and not returned.
Well, perhaps you can inquire with her more into that nature. Maybe she knows more than she lets on. But as I was saying, it's completely unchartable, unmappable. An old temple to wicked gods in the past that seems to make itself constantly harder and harder to deal with. Pours out an almost unlimited amount of demons, otherwise we would have dealt with it by now. And perhaps this relic of yours will help guide you through its halls, though we aren't sure how endless they may be. Or how difficult your venture within will fare.
I do have a canny sense for direction.
That'll be very helpful, but don't rely too heavily on it. The temple itself lives to confuse. It won't make it easy, and things will seem strange. But besides that, in the past magics have been attempted and used to manipulate the stonework within to no avail. It seems trying to alter the place or utilize certain spells fails. I couldn't tell you why. I'm not too keen on magic. That's more my brother's pursuit. But it's worth telling you. Besides that, let me check real quick.
What sort of spells fail?
As I said, The only ones I'm sure of are the ones made to manipulate or to teleport. Though, it seems to vary room to room. As I said, nothing makes sense. The only one that's been consistent is shaping stone. That never seems to work. Regardless, as I was saying, and the last thing I'll leave you on, it is a temple dedicated to dark gods. The entire place is desecrated, and soldiers long past in history have died within. Any bodies you could return would be greatly appreciated, but we will not hold you to it, as it's far too much to ask of anyone to go out of their way for such a thing. Oh boy.
Are the halls of the temple wide enough to admit, say, a cart or a wagon? Something that we could pile bodies onto? If we do return, it'd be easier to bring them back together, rather than one at a time.
I could imagine it being easy to manage a cart, through the gates at least, leading in. However, halls can shift and change. Sometimes they can be small, sometimes they can be colossal. It's impossible for me to give you a yes or no. As much as I might enjoy to.
We'll save what we can.
If you would be so inclined. We could have... Well, we do have guards constantly stationed outside of the temple. At any given point, if you need to retreat, never feel bad about doing so. Never feel shame for having to fall back. We'll always be there to try and catch whatever comes out with you. But if absolutely possible, try not to drag anything too terrible out with you. Things older than our very nation lie slumbering in that temple, just waiting to wake up and cause ruin. But I digress. Are there any other questions I can answer for any of you about the city itself? Perhaps something better than that.
In either of your lives, have you ever been to the Temple of the Changebringer in the southern corner of the city?
I only know bits and pieces from my prior life, though I attempted to learn most. Though I have been. As a matter of fact, the owner of the temple, Foghome, currently, is a friend of mine. I remember it being built in the past by a traveling clergy from distant lands who wanted to bring some faith to this city. They were courageous for trying something other than the Luxon, but I was willing to let them give it a shot. However, as you can understand, it didn't work out. Though, I'm not sure. That building itself has been there for centuries. By the time we settled this place, people of the past, it's impossible for me to tell you what that place might have been used for. There was only loose scrawlings scratched out through years of decrepitcy that were left on the walls from heroes past. Beside that, it could have been a convenience store for all I know. Somewhere to get your vegetables and crop.
Whatever the case, it seems to have lived through many lives.
That it has. More than me, I can only assume. And Foghome is currently giving it its best life. Looks around. Any other questions? I know you were going to say something, Fanzara.
I was just going to make a small request, if it's not too much to ask.
Of course.
I'll slowly take out the +1 dagger and put it in my flat on both of my two mage hands and have it float over to him. you make sure that this gets to the right people? There were a pair of siblings, twins, that were looking for it, and I found it, or we found it, in like a giant demon corpse. They asked me to get it to them, but I don't know who to give it to. If you could get that to them, I would be really appreciative.
Looks over the blade. What was the inscription on it?
Kerchali
Yeah, Charlie
Wastewalker.
Charlie Wastewalker.
Yep.
Looks at it for a minute, says, Wastewalker. I know that in the past, the Wastewalker family has had loose ties to Den Hythanos. There was one of Hythanos' den members who lived in this city for a time, though he went missing. We haven't heard of him. He locked himself in his manor for a very long time. We sent guards to investigate, but it's only been a couple of days and we've yet to hear any responses. We plan to send more, and I plan to do a personal investigation after all of this business is handled. Valdin. But this dagger would be a good place to start. If you would, I'd recommend holding on to it.
Okay.
It could help you learn more.
Slowly
If you can't
bring it
find
back.
if you can't find any answers, do feel free to bring it back though, and I'll pay you a pretty penny for it, and I'm sure the quartermaster would be very interested in procuring it.
Okay. Put it back where I've had it before.
Mm-hmm. Around everyone else.
I think we're all good.
Alright. Alright then. If that is all, then on to my plan. He looked out a window next to him behind Persephone and Eridanis. Valdin and Lythir will only give me the troops that we need if we can prove to them that the demon threat is substantial enough, volatile enough. The drop of a coin, anything could go wrong. There's only one way to do that could minimize the risk of casualty. And that's by putting the old rickety sacrifice engines to use once more. We don't get to use them often, but I think I have a plan, if you're willing to hear it.
Well, you've got my attention.
Says, alright then. He kind of thinks to himself for a minute before he says this, as if he's hesitating, wondering if this is the right thing, if this is the right idea, and then he speaks. Recently, a, band has come into town, I believe. Well, I'm not sure where they come from, but they wander Jorhas and its many cities. Interested in... I saw the second chat. Interested in sharing their performances far and wide. However, it seems that they're having a bit of a disagreement at the moment. The band leader, Kella, from what I've been able to learn of her name, is currently outside in one of the boxing rinks, sparring pits. She's been fighting all of my guard, giving them more training than I could have ever given them in any my lifetime, and she doesn't seem any too keen on stopping anytime soon. If you could get her and the rest of her bandmates together, I'm hoping that their loud and obnoxious music would be enough to lure the demons of Betrayer's Rise to the sacrifice engine. If we were to open the doors...
Hold on. You mean a literal band?
Yes, like... rock, I believe is what they call it.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
It's something. It's
Ooh.
loud. It's a distraction. That's what matters. What I would wish is that you would be able to get all of them together, however. And me and my patrol would station outside of the Betrayer's Rise gate. We would open the doors wide and let the demons pour out. And if we're lucky, and the noise is obnoxious enough, it should be able to lure the demons to all of you, who could attempt to push the demons into the sacrifice engine, blending them up and creating a pile of undeniable cadavers that Valdin would have to respond to. It's the safest way to do this, though it doesn't come without risk. We need outside help. That's where you all come in.
What sort of risk are you suggesting?
Well, as much risk as you can imagine, making yourselves the primary target of a potential demonic horde would bring. We're not sure what kind of things would pour out of that temple. All we would know is you'd have to be clever, which is why we would allow you to use the sacrifice engine. It's able to mince demons in seconds. If used right, it should hopefully make this doable in the first place.
Well, I see far less risk making myself a target than innocent townsfolk.
That indeed. We would alert everyone before this plan went into action. Barricade doors and windows, hide on the outskirts of the village, not in the direct line of the sacrifice engine. And as we decreed, your music should be enough to draw them in. Are all of you interested in this task?
Oh,
I
even
don't
if
think I could
they
ask
aren't,
anyone
totally
else.
am. This sounds
Not
just
smart.
entertaining enough to be awesome.
Entertaining, but do not overlook the dangers. I don't ask you to do this lightly.
I can't look at it. I can't overlook it. But
course.
it also sticks it to the people from Rosona that think somehow this isn't a problem. So that alone is enough to get me in.
We're getting to see what that sacrifice engine actually does. Will provide some measure of entertainment, I suppose.
I just feel naive because I feel like we've been through worse. But
And I'm sure you have. And with any luck, this plan should hopefully provide you some level of safety. I can only hope this does not highlight your adventuring careers as one of the worst things you've done, but I cannot make promises.
well, only one way to find out.
How can it compare going into the Betrayer's Rise?
I suppose you have a fair point. Well, if you're all interested, as I said before, the best place I could recommend beginning is with the band leader, Kella. Maybe she can give you information as to what her other bandmates are doing. Maybe. Till then, once you are successful, report back to me so we can put this plan into action.
Alrighty.
Should be simple enough.
You're up and do what you need to do, but we have 2 days before Valdin and his assistant leave.
Should be enough time.
We'll do what we can.
Thank you. Thank you greatly. I look forward to seeing some good results. And welcome back, Persephone, once more.
Yeah, thanks, Task-Hound.
It's good to have a useful hand back around here. Especially in times of need.
Don't count on it for too long.
Of course. You close the door behind you. The guard steps back up to the door as you guys are leaving. If there's anything you guys would like to do inside of the barracks or armory themselves, you may.
Persephone, I think you're gonna love this quartermaster.
No, you don't
Yeah.
say.
The quartermaster has a stern expression on his face. I imagine who steps up to the quartermaster, if anyone?
I will.
There it is.
All right.
There it is.
As you step up to the quartermaster, this tall than average hobgoblin, wearing a fine trench coat, or jacket, I suppose, is going to look over to you and say, So you're working with the Tascan now, I can assume?
Something like that. We're to use the sacrifice engines to destroy a lot of demons.
That sounds fun. But you're going to need yourself some fine quality equipment to do so. That's where I come in. You're practically Aurora Watch now, so have a look, buy what you wish. And while you're at it, feel free to use any of the training facilities here. You can hone your skills further before you go forth if you wish.
To those ends, would you happen to know where I can find someone to repair a suit of armor?
A blacksmith here? It's not incredibly likely, but the closest you're going to get is the crematorium. The people there have the closest thing in the city to a forge.
And a leather worker.
The Temple Master Foghome might be able to help you with that.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Are you interested in anything?
No, I'll get out of your hair for now.
Very well. I'll always be here.
I'll wave to him and leave.
Nods as you walk off.
Stop back here later.
When? When is later?
Later is later.
Wow,
He'll never
okay.
be back.
That's great for them then. I'm fucking doing a thing because I got given extra money. Why not? Give
You
me
know,
a
I
kick.
really didn't expect today to go where the task hand is gonna have us have a band play at the sacrifice engines to lay out demons. That's
Satscan has a
brilliant.
task for us. Who knew?
I'm buying an explosive
yes.
arrow.
I was just about to ask Fenzara, what will you'll be purchasing just an explosive arrow or anything else?
Yes. Explosive arrow. One explosive arrow.
Just a casual fireball on his
Exactly.
It pretty much is.
That's all.
I realized I don't believe I gave it a rarity, did I? Or did I?
I don't know.
Let me check your sheet and make sure I did. Just to make sure I didn't make the item. Okay, it's good. Cool.
Okay.
I feel like this character's name changed.
Who?
I'm
Ella?
just gonna buy that from him and nod at him and thank him and fucking walk off.
Ella was the name that you were given, but you don't know her name anyway. Either way, as you all approach the fighting pit, what you immediately see is an Aurora Watch guard. Let's just say a direct, currently talking with this Goliath woman, who seems to be pumping herself up, putting wrappings on her hands. You see multiple blisters and marks across her face and body, where she's been fighting here for a while now, but she seems pumped up and ready to go, as the opponent at the other end of the arena prepares himself as well, interested in taking down this repeat challenger.
I'll just go up to the ropes and watch.
Alright,
Yeah, we ain't interrupting this match.
good. As you approach and get ready, Kella doesn't even seem interested in what's going on outside of this small arena and is going to immediately step up for this fight to begin. So, as this fight begins, let me go ahead and read up on the rules of fist fighting real quick.
The rules of fist fighting.
Told barracks. This is a wrestling match. For now, we're going to have it be a simple grapple contest to see how the fight immediately starts off. But, going from a simple wrestling match, fists do eventually get thrown and violence does break out, as is wont to happen with this new contester. You know it's not a common thing, Persephone, however, for this to happen, and this person seems to have a fiery spirit compared to what you're used to. So go ahead and begin. Kella will roll, and then the guard will roll to match. Not a great roll, but not bad either. Even, let's see. 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. So in this case, Kella would succeed, taking the guard without much issue at all, adrenaline pumping through her veins, and then pinning him to the floor, before releasing him, pushing him back and saying, "Come on, that's not all you got, right? We can keep going, round 2, maybe even 4 at some point. I won't stop until one of us is on the ground asleep." And, the fight is going to, from that point, simply continue on, whether you guys choose to watch it or not, with her having absolutely no intention of stopping anytime soon, and the guard inside looking for any opportunity to get out.
I'm not leaving till that guard hits the ground because I want next.
The Aurora Watch trainer next to you is going to say, "Hey, how's it going?"
Oh, hey. Oh, pretty alright. Good
If you're
match.
here... yes. I was going to say, if you're here, usually I'm the one who's in charge of the fighting pit, but, this
Had your
Goliath...
position taken?
Yes. So to speak. She's been here for a couple of days. She doesn't seem any too keen on leaving, so I'd recommend coming back later. Maybe she'll have some sense knocked into her at some point.
Oh no, that's what I'm here for.
Says, "You think you have what it takes?"
Maybe. She's got at least a couple feet on me. But I think I have something else that wants her attention.
Maybe the bull's lost enough steam for you to land a good enough hit. He'll yell over to the Aurora Watch guard currently getting pummeled and say, "You're out. We have a new contester." Kella will just turn around and say, "So who's it going to be next?"
I'll slide off my jacket, lay it on the rope. Me, actually. And just step over.
Aurora Watch crawls out and then just
Jacket detected.
puts himself over. Sits onto the ground while the other guard walks up to him. Kella's gonna
Let me
walk up
hold
and
it. I
kind of
want to hold
shake your hand and say, "And who am I going to be pummeling today?"
Persephone.
"Good to meet you, Persephone. My name's Kella." And
I
she'll
heard.
cast
Leader
a
of a band,
spell on
right?
herself. Ah, so you've heard of our band?
Yeah.
Does he have
And
a
you know,
view
I
of this fight?
We all would have seen her cast a spell.
Yeah, to quickly
I-
describe the spell itself that she's casting. You
I
can
heard
see in the
something
chat.
quick and whisper.
She casts Prestidigitation.
That's what
As
they
you
were
watch any
talking
of the
about.
mud and dirt on her get clean in an
Yeah.
instant. After shaking your hand. Just dusting herself off with magic. And she'll say, yeah, we were coming here to perform, but, well, now I'm just blowing off some steam because the other band members are too stupid enough to realize that their band names that we all were voting on were just bad.
Now, does everyone have name trouble in this place?
I don't know. I just got here a while ago. We were going to perform, but they couldn't accept that my name, well in Droud, was the better name for the band than what they had in mind.
Oh shit, that's a good one.
I know, it's perfect. But not perfect enough for them. Ziggy's gone ahead and ran himself to the ready room to drink himself under. And then Brock, I don't know where. I had to guess he went to the Betrayer's Rise. Here there's some guards there who would listen to any kind of music, drab or not. So without them, my music is this. Kind of motioning to the arena.
Oh damn, that was a shame. I was hoping I could talk to all of you about a more, military-sponsored performance.
Well, you can talk to me after you've beat me in a fight.
Oh, trust me, I already knew that's where this was heading.
And let's get this started. With that, the wrestling match can begin. So,
What's the deal here?
as is from before, we're just going to roll... we'll do best of 3 on athletics checks for contests. Because that's roughly what the book describes.
Okay.
And whoever ends up rolling the best will be the winner. A simple roll contest, if you would. As the first round begins, Kella stances herself up, dusting off, and then saying, "You ready?" And then before you even having a time to respond, runs up and begins the fight. Going in for a tackle and a lunge. Roll our first athletics check.
Alrighty.
Ooh. managing to
He's gone.
start off kind of Kella and then immediately push her back, sending her stumbling for a moment. How would you like to try and get her next, just to give it some descriptive flair?
I want to, because I'm smaller and definitely faster, so I want to like dance around her, grab her by the arm, and try to like fling her downwards.
You haven't met many Goliaths before, but she definitely fights like imagine one would be. Tall, imposing, and going in for bear hugs to attempt to essentially suplex you to the ground if possible. But with that, go ahead and make the next check.
Alrighty. Oof, my turn to get a 3.
And with that, each of you have a success as you attempt to nimbly dodge around, but it looks like she's getting ready to pull you in to try and pin you to the ground, but you manage to just barely slip yourself free in the nick of time before she was able to pin you from behind your...
Just so we got some dynamic movement.
Circle around her, Stephanie.
She doesn't seem to move, more or less just locking onto your position and following.
Yeah.
Quit being so slippery! And she's gonna try and just bear hug you.
Move the other way.
Check.
That's most of what I have.
Counterclockwise.
14, not the worst.
Oh my
11.
god.
You managed
Ooh.
to narrowly
Nice.
succeed. As she goes in for a bear hug, definitely tougher than you, but you're fast, you're nimble, and you manage to dodge out of the way before she can. Her losing you slipping behind her, and her looking behind her, getting ready for their next move. What are you going to do? What could potentially be the last check?
Shit. I don't know how I like actually describe this, but you know that thing that Black Widow does in the Marvel movies where they just jump at someone and then take them down, like over the top?
With your thighs?
I was
Yes,
gonna say, I think I know what you're talking about, but I wasn't sure.
that.
Got it, understood. So that's what you're going to try and do. Well then, in that case, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay, I'm gonna use the inspiration I have on this one for advantage.
Oh, wow. Don't want to roll first and see what the result is before you use your inspiration?
No, I'm going all in.
Alright, fair
I'm
enough.
not afraid to, I'm glad I went all in.
Athletics. See if
Yeah.
Kel can beat it.
Nope.
She cannot. As you perform a nimble takedown, better than some of the stuff you've ever been able to perform in the past, as you kind of just wing it and then hope it goes well. And to your surprise, it goes incredibly well. The exhausted Goliath is immediately wrapped up and then taken to the ground with a powerful thud that sends dust scattering in every direction. You won a wrestling match.
Woohoo!
And with that
Fen claps to the side.
comes a reward.
Eee.
I'm just gonna get off from on top of them and then just reach down.
So, since you won this contest, you may increase your strength score by 1.
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
As training proves handy. Or, optionally, you could wait a bit and go check out what the other things have to give you. Basically, the idea is that you could
I
spend some
see the
extra
thing,
time. Yeah, you can. There's a few contests here. Each of them can give you a different score, and you can choose to spend your day participating in them all. You won
Okay,
one contest, but the strength is going to be assuming you want to keep fighting for the day.
Yeah, I'll keep that in the pocket for now. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of scores you can get other than strength. I don't want to rob you of other options.
Is that permanent or just temporary?
It will be permanent.
Oh.
And this can apply to anyone involved. If you want, I could just go ahead and tell you what the 3 competitions are.
I have a feeling one of them is dexterity with the archery.
Well, there's an archery rink, which can give you dexterity. There's a wrestling match, which can give you a strength bonus. And then there is a sparring match, which can give you a constitution bonus. And those are the 3 that you could get here.
Quaint.
Which you can decide. Any of you can do once. At any time spent in the city, but it will take you a day of training. A montage, if you will. But either way, to get back on track, you send Kella to the ground and take her. As you do, you back off and stand up victorious. Kella, currently unconscious and starting to collect herself, as you didn't you didn't hit her too hard and knock her out, but yeah, she's thoroughly exhausted and just goes pretty much faints after you take her down. The roaring bear finally being put to a halt. And the trainer is going to say, "Quick, drag her out of here if you can."
They're tired of fighting her. Oh my god.
All right.
The rest of
I
us want to
probably
turn.
should have thought about that. I'm going to attempt to drag her out.
It is shockingly easier than you expect, as you're able to succeed, pulling her out of the fight pit and over here to the side. Just gotta go ahead and mark her accordingly.
Well, I was kind of hoping she wouldn't, completely pass out, but told us where other bandmates are, and I think she's willing to do the show.
I think I can help with that.
I
give her a
don't
lay on
think
hands.
that's the issue.
Oh, what are you
It's
gonna
a
do?
fatigue
Gotta give her
thing.
1 hit point.
I just want to note for the record that
It'll
I'm
work.
wearing your jacket.
It is a fatigue thing, but I'll say for the sake of this specific moment that I'll let
Oh
just
my
for now, as she'll kind of catch her breath, still laying on the ground, and start to stand up. Oh, God. Oh,
Hey, welcome back. Sorry, I didn't mean to take you out like that.
no, it's fine. Wasn't to shake your hand. Good job.
Thanks. I never tried that before. I'm kind of surprised it worked.
Well, I definitely didn't see it coming, that's for sure. Phew! I need to practice lifting more so that I could just pick you up and throw you next time you try something like that, or someone does.
Yeah, I'm sure that'd be pretty manageable.
Name's Kella, which she already told you in the past.
Yeah. Persephone.
What did you want again?
You to perform with your band once things are taken care of.
Huh.
Have to go talk to the rest of your members now, but can I assume you're on board?
Perhaps there's more to it than what you're describing.
What's over to you?
I mean, now they're playing a show. It's just in front of the Demon Grinder.
She'll kind of look over to you and say, "Is there more deets I should be aware of? Don't want to get myself into too much shit without knowing the details."
The Aurora Watch wants to lure demons into the sacrifice engines with a very loud performance.
Ah, that sounds like a damn good show.
I know,
All right.
right?
Here's the deal. I'll find my way over to the sacrifice engine tomorrow morning. And I'll do this show for you if you can get my other band members to get over themselves, but I already know how this is going to go. They're not going to accept that my name is better than theirs, meaning we're going to need some outside help.
What names have you picked out?
As I said, my band name is Well and Drought, and you can hear theirs from... But my point being is that we're going to need help coming up with a new band name. And we hope that an outside influence can be a good enough inspiration. Meet me tomorrow at the Sacrifice Engine with a good name and my band member. You're on.
See you then.
It's a date. She's going to turn around and walk away, satisfied with the moment, stumbling a bit as she goes and having to grab into a cart nearby and catch her breath for a minute.
Damn, she's impressive.
Or walking off.
Perhaps you could buy her a drink after the show.
I'm sure Tascan will pay for it.
And that. What's next for our adventurers?
Me
You've been
still
given 2
wearing your
locations.
jacket.
What's that?
Me still wearing your jacket that I stole
You've
off
been
the
given
rope.
2 locations.
I do have to stop by the infirmary at some point.
You know that's right across the street.
Yeah.
It's not far if you want to track down the other band members.
I think I'll catch up with you. There's a couple things I want to do while I'm here. And you have my jacket.
I do.
Can I have it back?
It looks so good on me. I'll turn around.
You don't want it too badly. Though
Yeah,
I do still think it looks better on me.
Yeah. I'll take it off and give it to you.
Thank you.
Alright, well.
What was it? What Betrayer's Rise, probably, and... Did you catch what you said the last one was? Can't remember.
Well, if no one else remembers, someone does. It was the Ready Room and the Betrayer's Rise.
Alright.
Alright.
Oh, is it that guy that's upstairs drinking? Oh my god.
That's definitely
That's the Constitution one for sure. You gotta outdrink him. Oh my god.
Oh no, the Constitution challenge is here.
Okay.
At the Gatehole Barracks. You can train later.
I'll catch up. I want to grab a couple things from the Quartermaster before we go.
Oh, I mean to stop by the cafeteria.
Like what?
I have an extra spider egg if you want it.
I suppose I can stop by the ready room after the infirmary and find the other band member.
Yeah.
I think I might go with you, Erix. That scholar you had mentioned with the Cobalt Soul was also residing at the Ready Room, wasn't she?
There were multiple scholars there. Quite learned. They knew more than I did about this vestige necklace thing that I've been carrying around. Perhaps they might know something about your scholarly old men.
Alright, so you guys out of the Ready Room? I'll meet you there. Easy peasy.
How does he know?
How does he know? How does he
I
know?
need to kill him.
You guys all left the room earlier before buying anything, but I bought this very
Grenade.
nifty explosive arrow if you would like to use it, Persephone. You're the one who has the bow to shoot it.
You know, I appreciate that, Fan, but I can buy my own equipment.
I know you can, but I did it already and then realized that I didn't have a bow to shoot it, and you have one, so it's convenient. Here you go.
You just realized that after you bought it?
Would you like
I'll
to roll
take
an
it.
insight check?
No.
You accept the gift.
I accept the gift.
I move it to your inventory.
Okay.
You've acquired an explosive arrow.
Does it look like anybody else is in need of help in this current area?
Alright, I'm going with...
Fanzawa, before you do head out, there is something we must discuss.
What?
One of those Aurora Watch commanders. I'm gonna need the name again. I don't think I spelled it right.
It was Lythir Vasoon.
That commander, Lythir. He wasn't our biggest fan, as I'm sure you could imagine, but there was something off about his thoughts. It seems he might have taken an interest in you. To investigate, that is. Have you heard of something called dunamantic resonance before?
No. I don't think so.
Seems to be a strange force that this Aurora Watch member believes you're responsible for. Either way, best tread lightly whilst we remain here for the time being.
Anyone can make a history check if they would lie.
Can I make one? I think I can.
Anyone, just literally anyone. Even if you don't think your character would have sense in it, if you just want to try and remember details about potential past interactions, you can.
Boom.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Magic.
So, Zyra and Eridanis, you two would have remembered that this figure was the Dunamancer back in Jigao, who you accidentally barged into the room of before apologizing and he was the one who gave you the quest in the first place. At least handed you the paper for it.
Was I there for?
Okay.
And that's all.
Was I there for that one?
Okay.
I'm gonna have to check
yeah,
again.
you were- I don't think you've missed anything, really, BT.
Yeah.
Did you just
I don't have
forgot
it
what
written
the
down in my
guy's
notes here.
face was? Yeah.
It was a
Oh.
very brief interaction. None of you had it written down.
Yeah. But okay.
Well, with all that said, it seems to be that he placed the blame upon you, or at least is thinking of doing so.
Whatever happened, and he can just sense that. Okay, well, that's great, fantastic. Anyway, we can get
Who's
going
gonna be
now.
targeted?
No, it's hitting
Excuse
with a
me?
paralyzing ray.
Don't think too much about it.
Well,
Oh,
that's
he knows.
concerning.
I know. He knows.
He knows.
Will
Does
your
he
gang
know?
be heading to the ready room?
Yep.
Ooh, okay, I'm gonna need to quickly stop by that
I guess you're going to go to the infirmary.
cafeteria
So you can go to the cafeteria real quick, but
real quick.
I believe, Eric, so you wanted to head to the infirmary before the ready room, right?
Yeah.
Hit the cafeteria up, Eridonis. Do you and Finzira wish to head along with Eric's to the infirmary?
Absolutely. Let me just
Very
buy up
well.
all of the food here.
In the meantime, while you're buying the food, the quartermaster, Nubian is going to look to you and say, hello, stranger, and flying whale.
I believe we've met before.
Have we now? Are you hungry, I imagine?
Eridonis,
Okay,
I'm going
I
to
remember
place down. Yep.
It's hard to forget now that I remember.
Excellent.
Well-
So, what fine delights have you prepared today? Let's
Well,
see.
all sorts of things. Take a look, but we have some Kelty, some Mastodon Corundle from our brief visit. If you like some more exotic, Zukal is pretty good. I got some fresh spider legs the other day for it.
I do have a bit of a standing grudge with spiders as of recently.
Mm-hmm.
Delightful.
Outsiders tend to prefer the ice cream, though. Or rice pudding with gooseberry
Oh.
jam. My apologies. Ice cream is a
Excellent.
different food.
Nope. Well, we're getting 2 of those, and we're getting 1 Zukal, you said. Zukal. Excellent. Let's buy that up. Boom.
How much did you purchase? Like engage this
Purchased-
NPC's reaction.
Oh, I've only bought. Wait, why is there no?
One
Hold
Rizukal.
on. Wait, why did the ice cream not get added?
Did it not?
It's subtracted from the inventory, but it's not a.
Interesting.
Curious.
I'll drag it into your inventory real
Anyways,
quick. It's
2.
fine.
I bought 2 Tatali.
Tukatali? Got it.
Yep.
I put 3 in your inventory on accident. It did get added.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Apparently it did work. It just... Weird story about it, I guess.
Well, with that, Eridonis is going to take Rizukal for the go.
You're buying for your friends. It's a lot of... Gatly.
Yes, certainly. Well, some of us do deserve a little treat here and there. After all, as I'm sure you know, we must find our creature comforts on the brief moments we have off the road. Speaking of which, anything interesting happened since the last we had seen each other?
On the roads?
Over the roads or thereabouts?
Thankfully, you dealt with about the most interesting thing that I think anyone could have found. Fortunately. Some other figures entered into the city, a group alongside your own. They've been making rounds here and there in the city, asking and talking. Came to me to ask how you were doing, one of them. Not you specifically, but your group.
I was gonna say Grant, and I'm sure they were asking about me, but damn. Hey, how's the
pretty
weird
specific.
mind reading psychopath?
Either way, you have a good day.
You too. And He's going to take a smell of the, what is it called, these spider legs. Rice noodles and mushrooms. Delightful. Always good to have.
Very aromatic.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'd best be off. Do take care, Nuvian.
You as well. And to you the best. With that, you head out. In the meantime, Persephone, what are you doing?
I was making a shopping list this whole time.
Well, speaking with Ral, is there any conversation to be had, or are you simply just entering and purchasing?
I mean, I don't know anything specific to talk about, but, small talk, I guess.
Alright, Eridanos needs to save face. Fenzira. Eridanos is going to offer you 1 serving of Keltali, because I can't afford to now seem like a liar in front of Nuvian.
He can't see you right now. But okay.
See through the walls.
I'll take
Get
it.
X-ray goggles.
How do I transfer? Oh, well, 1
I can do
Keltali.
that.
It's rice pudding with gooseberry jam.
I can do that for you, just don't worry about it.
What was the name of the cleric at the infirmary?
Let me check real quick. Her name was... Baltha. Wait, no, wrong name. It's another B name. Hold on. Who the hell? Oh, it was Baltha. Okay, Baltha. Baltha Deer. My apologies. But back to what we were saying. First, here's the Chialti. For you, Fenzira. Boom, transfer complete. Persephone. While you're talking, and the rest of your group is walking away at this point, the quartermaster's going to say, "How can I help you? What are you interested in getting?"
Big job's coming up, and I'm not quite sure how they're gonna go, so stocking up while I can. The fire stuff, the ice stuff, acid if you got it, actually. I don't know, do you have any new armor?
New armor. We have some things lying around. I've got a here showing off magic +1 leather, as well as a finer shield that I received recently. Most of my wares come from enchanters in Rosona.
Shields are a bit too heavy for me.
Of course.
Plus, I tend to use both my hands. So, I think we'll just go with the fancy leather.
Well, fair enough then. Anything else you're interested in buying besides the armor? It's a good set. Made it. Finest.
Okay, those sling bullets tricked me into thinking they were regular bullets for a second. Okay,
Can you just buy an arrow and chop it down to a bullet size?
Buy an arrow and chop it down. Don't think so. But there is the shopping list I put in a notepad, so I'm just gonna go through and do the funny.
Alright, you'll make all of those purchases? Very well. The Dagger family, I can only assume that's every one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a trade-in, right? You're not asking for money.
Yeah, it's a trade-in.
Cool, so let me drag all those into his inventory real quick. And the family dagger. Boop. So the Dagger family and the family dagger. Got it.
Indeed.
Bone shaver. Rudge. I gotta remove these again. This is the second time, third time.
I don't know what you mean. Nothing changed.
Nothing,
changed.
huh?
Not
Yeah,
a
you
thing
could just
changed.
taken that armor and traded it to him for this
I
piece.
don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely impossible.
Do you not understand what you mean?
Hey, merchant, you want a piece of magical armor in exchange for a piece of magical armor? Sounds like a good deal to me.
No idea what you're talking about.
It is dealt with. The Dagger family is depleted.
Yippee.
Go ahead and make your purchases as you see fit. Actually, you can't. What are you trading up to get? Like, what is it? Just the armor?
No, it's the armor and then all of the arrows and bolts that I listed in there.
Because you can't take the items out of his inventory without buying them, so I need to make sure I drag the right things out of his shop. there anything I need to drag to your inventory that you traded them in? Just everything? Or
No, I don't think so.
how much of your money are you spending is what I mean. Your own money.
Oh, money. Okay, yeah, 1 second. Okay,
That's what's tricky.
Minus 105. And minus...
And I'll just go ahead and do all the dragging right now, so don't
Okay.
purchase anything for the time being.
I wasn't going to. I'll have 309 gold remaining.
309 gold remaining. Let me
Indeed.
go ahead and do that for you. There you go. 309 gold. Do you use your platinum?
No.
Cool. And then you're getting 5 bolts of acid. You're gonna get 10 dragged into your inventory. Don't worry about that. Got to adjust for arrows.
Shopping limo.
Quantity 5. Quantity 5. Trade-ins are a tiny bit more complicated, but we manage. It's good to have a list in front of me. 3 arrows of lightning. How fancy. You know, I can just use my big old list of arrows right here. Arrow of lightning. 1, 2, 3. And then 4 arrows of ice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably could have just added that up, but whatever. Hindsight's a bitch. And I believe that's everything, yes?
Yep, should be.
Alright, let me go ahead and accurately subtract these from our good merchant friend here, so that I don't get myself confused if you come back to purchase the rest of his stock in the future, inevitably. And that is 0. I want 5. Is that all your purchasing done?
Yeah, it is. Weird.
Alright. I was going to nod to you and say, but it's a good use.
I plan on it. Thanks.
Of course. Catch you around, Percy.
Catch you around.
And eventually, I'm going to drag us back to the map. You'll be able to, in time, catch up with your group after they deal with the infirmary. I'll say you'll head straight to the room. So we'll all meet at the ready room. Alright, so, in the meantime, for the infirmary, let me get the map ready again. Actually, we don't need a map for this. Unless you plan on doing any shopping. You know what, I'm going to get the map ready.
Yeah.
You really should have thought about that.
I did think about it, and I corrected myself. Look, Eden, I thought about it, and I corrected myself pretty instantly.
You're like, wait a minute. I was about to open my mouth, and you're like, nope.
Is there any spectator token, Persephone?
No.
Didn't think so. There you go.
I think there should be. It's just probably not.
There was, I deleted it from the map previously.
Excuse me?
I never did check the other building.
It's just a storage house of people.
Yeah, that's where you store your people.
Very
And you
store your
don't need
people,
'em.
nothing else. As you walk in, so, first things first, Eric's, just looking at the name, Baltha is currently focused on her own endeavors at the moment in the back room. One of the Aurora Watch you pass by seems to acknowledge whoever raises their hand towards you.
I'll head back to find who it was.
It was this one right up here. Gotta ping him. They're a bit up. They say, you. I saw you the other day, but I was gonna ask you to do something, but I was too woozy to do it.
How can I help?
She kind of goes into a pouch at her side and looks at something inside of it that you can't quite see at the moment, before thinking for a minute and pulling it out. Go ahead and quickly look at what this is. My name is Navian, and I simply wish for you to take this to a place in the city known as the Wall of the Unforgotten. And as she gives it to you, it appears to be a small tiger's eye carving of a rabbit with her name in the bottom. Just place it there if you wouldn't mind.
Certainly. I'll take it and I'll
Lays back
wrap
down.
it up in one of my blankets and tuck it in my pack. I'll take
Watch
good
this.
care of it until then.
Thank you. Don't normally ask random people, but Balthus seems to like you. You seem to help out a bit.
Don't think of me as a random person. Think of me as a friend.
I will.
If there's anything else you need, I would be happy to oblige.
Of course. I'll keep that in mind for the future. You can see deep gashes and scars throughout this Aurora Watch's body. Armor is to the side of the bed, and opposed to on her, as the token might suggest. But as you finish up this transaction, Baltha kind of walks back and says, "Oh, hello, all of you. You
Can I
brought
just give this
friends."
soldier 9 hit points?
Hello.
That you do, and many of the more wrapped wounds seem to heal up a lot more than they were before. And she says, "Thank you. Should be out in no time, hopefully."
It's the least I can do.
Baltha kind of awaits for all of you to enter in.
Oh.
She says, "Thank you for taking care of that." Looking to you, Eric's. I
It's
appreciate
nothing
it.
really.
No, it really is. It means a lot to these people.
Of course. But for me, it's only a quick stop. I'd be a fool not to do it.
I'm glad you think of it that way. There are many much greedier people than yourself. But regardless, is there anything I can help you with before you leave?
Well, in the spirit of avoiding finding ourselves in this place, I have simply come by to acquire a few healing supplies, if you
Now
so
that-
despair.
Now that some new faces are around, this is a more interesting thing. I didn't point this out to you before, Eric. It wouldn't have meant anything to you. But she seems to have an interesting and hard to identify holy symbol on her. Eridonis, you are well versed in books, as is Yuf and Zyra. You two may make a religion check, potentially like to identify.
Religion.
Ho ho ho.
I'm good at religion,
Well, you're from an island, buddy.
but look at my amazing religion modifier.
It is pretty religious. That's with guidance. Let me check the DC. This is an interesting one. You wouldn't quite have enough to specifically know who this is, but you would know that the symbol itself seems representative of a god known as the Archheart. You aren't too sure, but you know they're an elvish deity. So is said. Specifically, let me go ahead and pull her up. So I gotta give some Google in here. They are the god of art, beauty, and elves. And that's all you really know, is that this symbol has some connection to the Archheart, but you aren't sure anything further than that.
Huh. You adorn yourself with the symbol of the Archhearts, I see.
Oh, not quite. This is a symbol of Zalthius, an angel of the Archheart. Planetar. Or, sorry, Solar, my bad.
Do tell.
She is known for, well, she's known for being well versed in healing, and I hoped to adorn myself with the right sort of worship for my line of work. Couldn't tell you much about her, though. Other than that, she has served greatly at the right hand of Corellin for the longest time, but was felled during the calamity. Even though her magic still lingers on, her influence can be felt. Which is why I hope to claim some of that influence.
Well, we certainly do have need of that healing influence for now,
Mhm.
if you've any healing supplies to spare.
I have that and more. I practice a little alchemy on the side. I have some things that I can spare, but some that I must keep.
Of
For the
course.
You can purchase what you would like while you're here.
Now the question, the eternal question: 2 potions of healing or 1 potion of greater healing?
Eternal question.
Therein lies the rub.
Don't want to buy the potion of poison resistance.
Nerds really.
Don't want to buy any of
Oh
want to
wait,
buy any of the random potions I put in.
Completely random.
nah.
Completely random.
Eridanis now is armor of Agathis. He cannot die.
I would like to buy 6 chalk.
Oh, I would like to buy. I got the 6 chalk. No.
Well, now you guys have come to an impasse. Oh, wow. God forbid Eridanis bought that before you could even breathe, Eric.
Wait, is that on my? Wait.
You bought
Oh,
that
it's in my inventory.
instantly. Oh my god.
She did have chalk.
You're supposed to ask the
I
DM
can
permission.
share with you. I have chalk.
So, who all wants chalk?
Oh my god.
Eric, Eridanis, you two?
We can split it.
You
3-3.
can get 3-3. And you know what? Eridanis already purchased it with his money, so feels generous enough that he would donate 3 pieces to Eric's, right?
Oh my God.
dead body. He did not. Eric's
pieces of chalk.
was unwilling to spare Eridanis even a
If
small
you-
crumb of a
Eridanis,
cookie.
Bought
If
3
you-
of the chalk,
if you-
bought 3 of the
if you
chalk.
Listen,
At
I would
Eridanis.
have paid for the
Oh
chalk,
my God.
but somebody bought it way too fast.
if you ever need any chalk,
Don't
I
even worry
have
about
11 chalk. You can have
Don't
some.
even worry about the money, Eric. The chalk's in your inventory.
Eridanis is going to eat the chalk.
God.
It's about sending a message at this point.
No.
Chalk eater.
Don't.
So on an unrelated note, where can I find access to the light cantrip?
Oh my god.
Oh wait, my light cantrip doesn't actually cast it on anything else.
Sorry, I'm back. Jeez Louise.
I don't blame you for needing to take a break there. Did anybody
No, I
buy
just-
healing
no,
potions?
I got a funnel cake brought to
I
me.
have 5 as of now.
You have 5 regular healing potions.
Yes, I don't
So
know
you
why
have the
they're
light
stacked up in-
cantrip?
Who?
I have 5 normal healing
Eric?
potions.
I'll ask about that.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can do to help out around here before we head on?
Mm. You've done so much. If you wish. There's many people around the city who need help. I'm sure I can find something in time. Maybe if you find any interesting alchemical ingredients, feel free to swing them by me. I'll pay a pretty penny for any of them that you can find.
Well, I don't know about alchemical ingredients, but I
Anything
should
that
warn you,
seems
this
magic.
infirmary may be full of new patients come the next few days.
kind of frowns a bit and says, "Why?"
It seems Varen, the Taskmaster, has a new plan to put lives in danger. But in the
Rolls her
long
eyes.
run, it should get you more Aurora Watch guards and reduce the threat of the demons.
I see. I suppose he'll probably tell me this plan later.
If all goes well, the only people who might be coming by this abode anytime soon would be us. But he would hold up the healing potions. I at least wish to take some more proactive measures.
Of course. We'll be ready for you if you ever decide to swing by.
I couldn't help but
Sultan.
notice that you also have a spare alchemist supplies, but
Of course.
what would it take, like, time-wise to learn the trade?
Well, I'm no master. I could maybe teach you the basics of what I know in a few days, but you need to have to find someone better than I if you want to know the advance.
That's fine. I just find it advantageous to learn how to make potions.
The fun thing to do. I personally do it as a helpful hobby.
Yeah.
I like it, but it helps around the place.
Alright, well, I will grab some of your supplies then, and hopefully you can teach me the basics when I come back.
Of course.
Is this window proper? There we go. It doesn't let me buy it if I pop out the window. And I'm gonna grab... What's it called? This one. You already grabbed... What potions did you grab? What type?
Pardon?
Eridanus, what
If he buys
Oh,
them, they
yes.
should get, if
What
he
type
buys them,
did you
they'll get
buy?
subtracted.
I've only purchased 2 potions of healing, but they've already been removed, it seems.
Ah,
I have 5 as of now. I was thinking
Okay.
I distribute 1 to each of us.
this'll work. I'm grabbing the aid potion and the supplies.
I'd grab a
Did
greater
it not
one
do
as
that
well.
other one?
Hmm?
Oh, it did. Okay. I think. Did it? Hold on. Yeah, it did. Oh my god. Okie dokie. I have gotten everything that I think it will be useful in our upcoming escapades.
Alright. Eridanus?
I think I'm all good here. Ready to move on.
Should look to all of you and say, good luck with your plans. I really hope that this doesn't end in any more casualties.
We'll do
Or
our
broken
best to prevent
bones.
them.
If you would. I'm counting on you.
If I could have my wishes granted, it would be to put you out of a job.
Well, I appreciate hearing that. More than you could know. Thank you. I hope you can one day.
Man.
With that, the group will properly depart the infirmary, yes?
Yippee! Yep.
Yes.
Yippee.
I wanted to walk.
Yeah.
though.
No,
You're not allowed to walk.
No walking! No walking!
No
The hell
walking.
outta here.
So you're going to B6 first?
Yeah, I got a side quest.
Alright.
I got a side quest.
So you'll be going on your own for a minute, or...
Yeah, if the others want to stop off at the ready room, I can go to B6 on my own. I don't think it's going to be too harrowing to put another.
We'll just say...
thing.
We'll just say for now, we'll do the wall, and we'll all go into the ready room together. We'll say they'll wait a few minutes.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and... Just so you're all in the same place at the same time, so we don't have any confusion, for my own sake.
Surprise demon attack.
Oh my god.
Oh my... Let me go ahead and get the tokens ready up.
Demons are trapped in here with me.
Bana.
For real, for real.
Bana. As you approach the wall of the Unforgotten, whereas before there was no one there, you now see graves at the wall doing a momentary prayer.
Fucker, right?
An older drow man. Handsome but scarred.
We got a wall map.
Didn't put
Yeah,
our
we do.
tokens here.
They made a map for everything.
What if I just put the rabbit down the well?
The raft.
Sir, where am I?
You're in.
Oh
You
my
have
goodness,
a
who's-
spectator token.
Okay, I thought you said all three of us walked over here. That's why I got
No,
confused.
no. I assumed you guys were at the ready room waiting
Okay,
for a
okay.
second. No confusion.
Who's going in circles?
I don't know. Look at the
Putting out
well.
of a
Stop.
job!
I feel like that spectator token is getting fought over.
Yeah,
It
it
is
is.
like it's happening. The drow finishes a prayer to the Lux before standing up and looking over to you and saying, "Hello."
I suppose
around here?
Luxon is one of those deities that actually answers your prayers.
Depends on who you ask, but I think so. I reckon the Luxon answers our prayers every day.
Take out the small rabbit carving and place it on the wall.
Though the Luxon can't save us all. You see, kind of looks down at the carving that you pull out with a bit of an interesting look. Where'd you get that?
From a wounded soldier in the infirmary.
I see.
You're right, I'm not from around here, but I'll help out as best as I can while I am.
He says, well, there's a bit of history behind that if you're interested in knowing it.
The Wall of the Unforgotten.
Well, the wall itself, of course, but that trinket that you're having.
I'd love to hear the story. If you have the time.
I'm 300 years old. I've had time for as long as I can remember. He says, it's a practice that's been taken up recently by some of the younger. Whenever a soldier is not sure of living long enough to make friends that will hold a memorial for them, arrange a keepsake of themselves, put a name on it and everything, and they place it by the wall. In case they die, they can have something here to remember them by. I hope the person who gave this to you was doing fine. I hope they never need this.
They had a few deep wounds, but nothing that I couldn't heal.
Well,
In a few days'
glad that you
time,
helped.
they might even be walking around again.
That would be wonderful. We need more healers in this city. Here's hoping Rosona ever sends extra arms here. There's only a few people left here that are willing to fight. And not enough healers, that's for sure. Either way, thank you for giving me a minute of time.
Anything for an old soul.
Thank you for doing this as well. I'm sure this is important to whoever let you do this. Whoever gave it to you.
Nevian.
Nevian.
That was her name.
Think I've heard of her before. Well, you're a part of Bazzoxan's traditions now.
I suppose you'd be a fellow soldier.
That's right. I've been a cleric of the Luxon for a long time. More of a battle healer, if you would. I make sure to stabilize people so that they actually are able to make it to the infirmary. But I'm getting older. Can't do this for long.
Very useful skills. My name is Eric's. I'm, I guess you would call it paladin.
What do you serve?
The natural order.
Interesting.
Bazzoxan on a mystical quest, if you can call it that.
Well, that sounds fun. Well, I wish you luck with your mystical quest. I gotta get back to it.
The first order of the business here, you might be interested to hear, is luring a bunch of demons into the sacrifice engines.
Kind of frowns a bit and says, and pray tell why?
It was Varen's idea to drum up recruitment for more soldiers.
I see. If it's to get more fresh bodies, I suppose I support it. I'm sure Varen will say something to all of us in a day. Maybe even less.
If you're not doing anything in the next few days, perhaps you could join the effort.
I sure will be. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Well, once again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for doing this. If I hear about anything bad happening to you, I'll name. If you plan to fight for the city, you're as much a soldier as anyone else here.
If anything bad does happen to me, I'll take out Rober's special twig and I'll hand it to Callum. Perhaps
Takes
you
the
could
twig.
leave this at the wall for me.
Will do. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. If you plan on leaving and you find out that you're alright, then you can come stop by, find me again, and I'll hand it back to you.
Will you be at the barracks?
I'm sure you'll be able to find me after all the smoke's cleared from Varen's plan. I'll be wherever the soldiers are.
Who should I ask for?
Callum. Callum. Get the name right. Well, good luck.
You as well, cleric. And I'll put a hand on his shoulder and walk away.
Mm-hmm. And that he'll walk away as well, both going your own separate ways. With that, we return back to the map. Wandering your way back, you eventually find yourself over at the ready room with the rest of your companions, all of you catching up briefly before heading in. Let me go ahead and set up some stuff. Get the map ready. Swoop.
How many Umber Hulks is it this time?
3.
Ugh.
Love me Umber Hulk. Getting everything set up here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Everything's ready. Everything's ready. All your tokens? Nope. Almost all your tokens. Where's Eric's at? There he is. Get your familiars, because that's a thing now.
It sure fucking is. Yeehaw, partner.
And you all find yourselves at the ready room. A location described previously to Eric's, but to you, let me go ahead and reread the description. A large barn with a steeply pointed roof looms over the battered structures near the center of town. Over the double door hangs a sign that bears the tavern's name. The Ready Room, in Undercommon, Orc, Goblin, and Common.
Languages.
Well, here it is. This is where I've been staying.
Yeah.
The innkeeper kind of seems, Prima stands to attention as you enter and says, welcome back, you've brought friends.
I think she'd seen us before.
You're
Yeah, we
right,
were
she
good
did.
That's
last
why
time.
I'm just
You're
like,
right, you're right, You asked, my
moving
bad. She says, of course. Well, I don't know what you're here for, but your rooms are ready if you need them.
Not quite rooms. Have you seen a disgruntled band member somewhere?
What an interesting person to describe.
I think it may be the half-orc upstairs.
There's a half-orc, yeah. He's been here for a bit, just drinking away. I keep hearing him tap on the floor, though. It's disturbing some of the guests.
That's
Trying to
probably
keep
the guy.
rhythm, I imagine.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Alright. Well. Either way, your friend is upstairs. Anything you can do to get him out of here, but he is good business.
Not a friend yet, but we hope to change that.
Good.
Yep. They all pile in.
Alright, Lynn, no way.
Oh yeah,
And you
no
just,
way.
you double-click this if you want to go up.
Ooh.
Yippee! Oh my god, everything is black. Got it. Amazing.
What?
Can you refresh?
Is it good now?
There we go. Yeah, yeah.
You just had to move your token, right? Stephanie?
I'm not allowed.
You're not allowed?
I'm double clicking it. I'm not allowed.
Okay, let me, I guess, pull you up. I don't know why that is, but there you go.
Wah, wah.
You all approach him to see some of the usual suspects. Delez will walk up to hand you a drink, Eridonis, as you all scatter in every direction.
Alright. We are getting some value. Or finest value.
he as you buy the drink real quick before I get to Ziggy here, he'll say, "Oh, you're interested in buying some of the Arfazio?"
Indeed, I am.
There's Falu. He says, "I actually have a bit of a hobby out of drink making. Food is, it's fun here and there, and I'm definitely good at it, but drink making is my specialty. You won't be disappointed." He'll walk to a back room real quick. Coming back with a ton of hand-printed bottles, which he'll lay out on the counter, and he'll say, "All made by me in my free time."
Well, far be it from me to deny an artisan the chance to have his craft tested. Let's try one of these. We'll buy one to start with.
I recommend this fragrant plum liqueur that I've worked on recently. It's a bit of a newer thing, as we don't get plums here often, but
Scoots
good.
over.
Plum, you say?
hello.
Hello.
Well, suppose I'll take that one. And Zyra,
Yes.
care to try it with me?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's get this. Let's get this one.
I am
one.
the plum connoisseur.
Just follow you.
What a title.
Oh, you got
Yum,
plums, huh?
funniest.
Slides over. Well, I'll see about that.
Oh, so you think you're a plummy guy, huh?
Did you say alcoholism? Count me in.
Alcoholism? No way.
The phrase, no way.
You guys, you teetotalers stay over there. We got this.
Did you say erasing my tragic backstory one drink at a time?
See, this is why Adonis is so powerful. He
I
doesn't have
drink to
one.
forget, but I always remember.
Oh my god.
All right.
Have you both? Are you
Alright.
sharing a drink?
Yeah.
The Les will drink one of his own bottles as well, if you guys want to go ahead and buy and then mark it
Which
off.
one is
Well,
okay, you
here
got
we
the
are.
other.
He'll pour you all. I'll say he'll pour you all a small glass of the plum liqueur.
Okay.
Breaking off one bottle, just so you can try it.
Improvised weapon.
Oh my god.
You want this plum liqueur? Here, take it.
It's all
Smash the bottle
improvised
open
weapons
Zyra's
because
head.
I've been too lazy to fix it, so it's just how it
I
is.
got this. I've got
You just
this.
throw it at people.
How
Either
does
way,
it taste? How does it...
It's fragrant and shockingly delicious. Well, cold, garnished with currants. It's not like what you've had at home. This is a lower quality brew, not made in a professional setting with the best possible tools, but it's not bad. Takes his own shot.
It's a bad financial decision, but you've sold me.
Delicious.
Let's get some more then. I'll get one more.
I
Which one
consider
are you
myself
getting?
a bit of a connoisseur of different drinks.
Well, you certainly have good taste.
Thank you. I've been looking for finer and finer stuff from anyone that comes to the town. Trying to get the right brew. Hope to make it big one day off of this. Don't want to work here for the rest of my life, that's for sure. Maybe one day we could convert this old barn into a winery.
That would be pretty neat.
I think.
Would be a pleasant oasis amidst the demon hordes outside.
That much is sure. Everyone can use a sturdy drink, especially that guy over there, points over to the orc.
Something tells me he might have had too many hearty drinks.
There's a good chance. Though, he's kind of cooled off for the day. Light drinking. More deep reflection. Guys had it rough.
Perhaps we should go speak with them. Be
You
ashamed
friends
to
with
let
that
Eric-
guy who came in the other day, by the way, and was waving around that golden necklace?
Wary of the last time I think we mentioned our association with Eric's. Perhaps.
We've got an interesting friend.
Did something happen in this
I just saw
tavern
the
last
OSC.
time?
Oh my god.
Oh, he says, you know it. Like I said, he was telling high tales. I think he was trying to get a free drink.
He has a tendency for those.
Either way, enjoy yourselves. I'll prepare what I wish. Or what you wish, rather. What I wish, I make what I want. And in the meantime, over to the other two. Persephone and Eric's. You two see a half-orc in the corner of the bar, currently drinking from a mug. He's going at it pretty slow and staring out of the nearby window, looking up almost dramatically. You see a drum next to the chair at his side. And right now he's just thinking and... Well, let's see. I got a whole list of things here, and I think passive perception comes in. I just need to check real quick.
Oh, good.
Yep, I need to check.
Mine's 10, so I don't notice anything.
I got
Who
my
has a passive
alcohol.
perception of 15 or higher?
That would be me. I have 16.
You notice that he seems to be subconsciously kind of tapping his foot in a rhythm, but doesn't even immediately acknowledge you as you walk up.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna.
Excuse me, you wouldn't happen to know any good band names off the top of your head, would you?
Oh my god.
It's over to all of you.
Can I tap on the table with both of my palms the rhythm that he's making on the floor?
Doesn't even seem to be acknowledging what you're doing, but it is happening, and I'll keep that in mind. He says, "Is Gella putting you up to something?"
That she is.
It's more like we're trying to put Kella up to something.
I see. So what business have you nosing around in our business? And I promise you, you definitely don't want me.
We're getting the band back together.
Off chance. The
It's
band
gonna be
doesn't
the-
even want me.
Biggest show in Bazzoxan.
Well, I won't be in it. I just ain't good at rhythm anymore. Or I ain't good at the drums anymore. I ain't got no rhythm.
I don't know. It seems like you got a good one going here. Tap, 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 tap.
I don't know what you could possibly mean.
I mean, you're making one with your leg. You're tapping it on the ground. I'm mimicking it with my hands. This is your rhythm.
We walked in and the
Stop.
innkeeper was already complaining about you having that going the whole night.
What does a band need with rhythm anyway? Play with your heart.
So,
Even if I did play with my heart. Go on.
I was gonna say, the rhythm of a song is kind of the backbone. You need it in order to know. It's like a metronome. It keeps people on track, you know?
Kinda nods his head and says, "That one gets it. But here's the deal. Just a few days ago when we entered the city, we decided that our old band name, which I've already forgotten by now, was just not cutting it anymore, and we needed something new that better described our talents. We were all trying to come up with something, and in the heat of the moment we couldn't agree. But I know my name was perfect, which leads me to believe that I think they were just trying to get rid of me, because they didn't think my drumming skills were good enough. I came up with the completely infallible name, TPK, Total Party Crashers."
I have some
Crashers is spelled
interesting
with a C.
ideas if you don't mind me
I
bouncing
spell
them
it with
off
a
of you.
K. He kind of says, "Well, ideas or not, it ain't gonna make me any better at drumming."
Maybe
I ain't
that's
got
the
any.
kick. You don't need to be any better.
What do you
I
mean?
Once you've reached the peak of drumming capability, all you can do is show the world.
really don't think them not favoring your name means that you're not good at drumming.
Like I said, I don't think it even has to do with the name. I think that was just an excuse.
What if
I
you
mean-
called yourselves the Sex Crossbows?
What?
He kind of says, "Well, it's got a ring to it. Like I said, the name
Or
doesn't mean anything."
Is this a
Judas Cleric?
Scott Pilgrim
Wow.
reference? Please say yes.
How about
He says-
Daft Monk?
He just kind of goes quiet and just lets you keep going for now, as he just continues to out
What
the
about-
window.
Aerosmith.
You
No,
done
no.
yet?
He really likes his name, Eric's.
Crossbows and Roses.
Stop.
Like I said, it has nothing to do with the name anymore. The name
look.
is just a cover-up.
Alright, look, maybe the booze is getting to you, but if they wanted you gone that badly, why would Keller even tell us to come get you?
You said it yourself. You weren't put up to this by her, you were doing this for yourself, trying to get us all back together. I don't know what you told her to win her over, but if she doesn't want me, then I don't want to force myself.
She was wrestling with the Aurora Watch, but that's not important.
Exactly.
We told Keller we needed a band to perform, and she said, Ziggy's the best drummer, I need him back.
Make a deception check, please.
I'm just gonna.
He's starting to take a drink from his
Oh my
his
god, that was
mug.
actually pretty
Oh
good.
my god. Let me check some DCs here, because I had like 7 things you could have done. What'd you roll?
16.
16?
On the money.
Oh.
He kind of thinks for a minute, stops midway through his drink and says, "Wait, she said that?"
She did think your band name was pretty terrible, but if that's just a minor thing to you, then perhaps you could still work it out later.
Huh. Are you sure that she really thinks that?
She
Well.
wouldn't play without you.
Even if that's so, I respect her as a friend. But I can't be dragging the band down. Why would they even need me? I got as much rhythm as that chair over there.
Well, how about
A
this?
band is nothing without all its members.
How about this? I recently bought a drum, and if you're better than me at playing the drum, then you're good for the band. How about that? And I'll pull it out.
Kind of looks around to all of you, spending some time trying to convince him. Eric's, you can make a persuasion check with advantage.
What do you have to lose?
Oh no.
You want to add guidance to it beforehand? Because that's a thing you can do.
Yep, I was gonna ask if I could guide him.
Yeah, of course. I thought that's what you were going for with your reaction to that. Alright. Well, it was a low DC because the deception was the big one. So, you tell him this and he looks around. And he thinks for a minute. And he says, "Fine. I guess you're right." He'll kind of stand up and pick up his drum, put some straps over his shoulders, the drum hanging in front of him, and I'll let you show me what you've got.
Okie dokie. I'll go sit, like, I don't know. Right.
Hop up onto this table over here. He's kind of standing halfway on the table, halfway onto this chair, looking down and saying, "You lead us off."
I am not proficient with this, and that's the point.
Performance check.
Hopefully your charisma is bad.
It is. It is.
You kind of just hit it unrhythmically, just really beating away at it, and he says, thinking to himself, eyes closed, nodding his head.
That's pretty good, Fanzira. Keep it up.
"Now, you got something going on there. It's not much. Chaotic. But chaos is music, after all. Here. I'll show you what I got. Maybe you can learn a thing or two, and I can learn something from you."
Okay.
As he immediately takes the drum and performs one of the most rhythmic melodies. Shockingly more rhythmic than he gave himself any credit for, where he begins to beat the drum, and alongside the intermittently he'll take instruments around him, like a spoon off the table or a fork or something, begin to drum off of the nearby table, knock a chair to the ground to make a loud crash to aid his musical performance. Like if any of you have seen it, the musical Stomp.
Yeah.
Oh.
Using various implements around the room to perform a shockingly good show. And he'll kind of finish up, stepping off and standing in front of all of you and saying, "See, it ain't nothing. Ain't good enough. Said enough twice, don't mind me."
Isn't good enough. You beat me by miles.
Yeah, but you're new at that, right? I've been doing this for years, and I just don't think I'm getting any better.
I mean, I wouldn't call myself a professional, but I'd say that I've played it at least a few times alongside my brother who played the lute, so...
Exandria is the most accomplished musician in our group.
That's so?
You should
Yeah.
hear Eridanis play. He's terrible.
Just look over to you, Eridanis.
Just reach into my bag real quick.
Okay, just gonna reach into my own bag.
Not now, Eridanis. It's not a great time for it.
Eridanis is going to cross his arms and sit back.
Kind of looks over to you. Are you gonna do a performance, or are you just chilling?
I'm going to say, I'll spare the people here I'll spare you all the pain. Just this once, I suppose. Staring daggers at Eric's.
Ziggy's just gonna say, "Do you really mean it? You think I got it still?"
Heck yeah, dude.
Fine. Well, if you think so, then I'm in for whatever weird performance Kellis and y'all have been planning. Only on one condition, though. I'll go there in the morning after I sleep off this drink I've had, but all of you are going to have to help us come up with a name. Seems like you've got more than enough already cooking, so I'm sure it shouldn't be too hard by the time you get to us, but maybe find one that you can all agree. Something refined, that you really think fits us.
Okay.
Here's my recommendation. Go see our band's musical writer. He really knows the feel of the band. Broxar, spirits, so to speak. Kella does the singing, I handle the drumming, and then he writes all the songs, and plays a pretty good battle lute.
Alright.
Well, I suspect I know where we might be going next. Where can we find this writer of yours?
Last I saw Brock, he was heading up to the Betrayer's Rise. Could be the only bugbear there.
Eridanis gonna give a smile.
Miles over and says, "I'll thank you all. I'm gonna go ahead and make my way now. Catch you there." And he starts to continue his musical performance out of the building, reinvigorated in his talents and continuing his rhythmic beat as he's on his way out. Hearing it throughout the entire building. Belesh just says, "On this day we lost one of our most famed patrons." Oh well.
Well, that was exciting.
I'll put the drum away.
Now that it's
Not
over,
terrible.
I knew that would come in handy.
I'll post this just so you know what potentialities there were for this quest. Go ahead and
This song.
Oh, there's somebody that I probably need to apologize to, because that was a lot of noise. 1 second.
I left a small opening in a few times, but
Oh my god.
You don't say.
Good old Lord.
Either way, that's just a little, a little taste since you mentioned call him Love Handle.
Oh my god.
God.
Do you think any of us are gonna memorize a Phineas and Ferb song at any point in this campaign? You can just delete that from your
we're
notes.
already there.
I was gonna say I was 100% counting on Keaton or Karma to do it. Other way, that's why it's a bonus.
It's a bonus.
Regardless, you guys finish up and are left here in the ready room if you would like to do anything else before you head on to the Betrayer's Rise.
I'm apologizing to this person here for the racket.
She's gonna kind of look over to you, taking a sip of some wine, and say, it's really nothing. Ever since your group came in, things have been much more interesting, though. That your friend over there, looking over at Eric's.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pretty cool guy.
Before you all continue on, can you go talk to him about our meeting we agreed on?
Sure. I don't know what
I
your
would like
meeting
to
is.
speak with all of you before you run out again.
I can collect them for you. That is within my ability to do. I will be right back.
If you would.
Hello, group. There is a red-hatted person over there that would like to talk to all of you. Points.
Why?
I don't... Something with Eric's.
Looking over at all of you.
Alex, you know anything
She
about
knows.
Oh no.
There you
That
go.
is Aloysia Telephone.
Uh-huh.
She was interested in our mission into the Betrayer's Rise.
Yeah, and she would like
She's
to
a
talk to
researcher
all of us.
herself, and she was, last time I spoke at least,
Mhm.
interested in potentially accompanying us.
Well, that's probably what she wants to talk to us about. So, come on, gang.
that?
You all walk up. She waits for all of you to take a seat patiently, putting down her wine glass for now and stopping sipping it.
Drag chair, turn it around.
This wine doesn't seem like anything that's sold in this tavern, something she brought herself.
Oh, dang it.
She slides to the side, trying to get it out of the way of the table as she puts her hands together in front of her face and just kind of leans on the table. Looking over to you, Eric, she says, "So, these are your friends?"
These are a few of them.
Very well. Acquaintances of Eric's, if we can go ahead and properly acquainted with one another. My name is Elysia Tolfan. A pleasure to meet you all. I've heard much.
You could just call me Fen. It's
Pleasure to
simple.
meet you, Finn. The rest of you?
Persephone.
A fine name.
Eridanos. Pleasure.
The pleasure is mine. It is not often that I get very capable hands around to help with very specific endeavors. You see, I've been misfortuned recently, and I am looking for a capable group to help me. If you believe yourselves that group.
I'd say we're decently capable.
We are more than capable.
In that case, I'll give you some of the details. So, I did mention to you wishing to go into the Betrayer's Rise, and that stands. However, there's business that must be dealt with. Recently, well, before I arrived here, I heard that there was a very well-connected fencing network within this city. Before I continue any further, I need to know that you are willing to keep our business between us.
Looks at Eric's.
Certainly. What is a fencing network?
Kind of looked around to all of you to see if any of you were able to explain that to him, not wanting to explain that.
Is
Fencing.
it sort of like a training network for swordsmanship?
Eric's. It's like with really like thin-bladed swords. It's kind of like
No,
fencing. Oh, you're not talking about the sword play. Okay, got it.
illegal kind.
Oh, got it.
The kinds of things not to be spoken of for
Underground
Drinks.
swordplay.
Well, I'm good at keeping secrets,
This-
so.
Precisely. Which is why I'm trying to establish a rapport here. Back to the task. One of my hookups in the city was supposed to deliver a particular crystal to me that I may bring back to my organization I am here on behalf of. And somewhere along the way, a local group of bandits found it wise to rob my contact.
Oh, I think we know who you're talking about.
Wait.
That's so.
Did they come here, like, in a wagon, by horse, perhaps?
Speak with
No
a stupid
horses I
voice.
know of. No horses that I know of. They are a local band of thugs. But regardless,
Okay.
I am not too keen on the information.
That's fine.
That is why I would be hiring all of you to be detectives as well as to recover this resource of mine.
Okay.
If you are interested.
When you say illegal in regards to fencing,
Yes.
how illegal are we talking?
In most places, fencing more dependent on. However, around here the laws, you see, not as frowned upon as one might expect. The people of this city have much greater issues to worry themselves with than fencing. The thing I am after myself is not necessarily illegal. It is an arcane material that my faction has dubbed ruidium. It is a red crystal with arcane properties.
What does this crystal have to do with Betrayer's Rise?
That's what I am here to figure out. I am collecting a sample because it seems that this crystal has been spotted growing out of the temple at times, or stemming on monstrosities that pour out, but only in small quantities. I need a sample.
And you can't harvest it from a demonic corpse yourself.
I could head to the infirmary, crematorium if I wished, but every time I go around to check, it doesn't seem like any more of the crystal has poured out recently. Not to mention a particular thorn in my side haunts the crematorium, waiting for me to slip up.
Who?
An old rival of mine from Marquette, the city I hail, who is very interested in disrupting me and my private affairs. So you can see why I need a capable group of people to do this. I would handle it myself, but I'm in no condition to put myself out. I need to lay low. I'll ask once again, are you all interested?
I mean no offense, but this seems more like a job for a courier than a band of adventurers.
I have no doubt that the people who robbed me of this substance are going to need to be put in their place. Unless you fancy yourselves good talkers.
We're not the sort of people who enact highway justice on those undeserving.
Thanks for a minute. She says, then let me sweeten the cake a little bit. I could give you a little bit of information on that necklace you were flailing around. Not to mention, calling it highway justice is one thing, but on top of the money I'm already paying you to do this job, these people are the worst of the worst. I guarantee they have plagued this city for a long time. They fancy themselves, debtors, so to speak. protection agency,
Hmm.
amongst other things. And their primary export is that they sell a substance known as sood throughout the city to help people get by their day-to-day lives with the demons. It's a highly addictive arcane substance which I have no doubt is bad for the health of the people here. Maybe even worse so than the demons. And all they care about is the money.
Are you sure they know that it's not healthy?
Could I make an insight check on whether she's blowing
I-
smoke with this band?
Me
I
too.
promise you, these people know that it's make your anyone who's interested.
You cut out what?
Make an insight check, anyone who's interested.
Yeah, before that you cut out a little bit, but that's fine.
She says, I promise you, these people know that this is an unhealthy substance. But, for insights, let me just go ahead and do a private roll for her. Persuasion or deception. Eric's and Eridanis, you two would both be able to kind of tell. As a person, she's incredibly suspicious. She definitely seems to be hiding bits of information throughout this conversation, and for the organization, she definitely believes that they're bad people, but she doesn't know these things that she's spewing out as fact. She's simply telling you what you want to hear.
Yeah, that's kind of why I asked earlier
At
if
least
she was sure.
Eridanis, you'd be able to pick that up. Eric's, you'd be able to pick up that she just seems a bit suspicious. If anything.
I don't think any information you have on this amulet is worth infringing ourselves in your business.
She says, as I said before, I can help you find information, I can pay you. But if you are truly insistent on not supporting me in this endeavor, then I suppose I better hands take up the task.
Well, I mean, at some point we're going to be trying to go into the Betrayer's Rise as well, so maybe we can grab one of the crystals from in there instead.
He says, as much as I appreciate the offer, I do not wish to work with people that I do not know without a shadow of a doubt that I cannot trust in such a volatile endeavor.
I
Before we
get that.
continue, give me 1 second to respond to Persephone, because
Okay.
we got a PM.
I get that.
Alright, I'm back, sorry.
Hold on, I'm pad typing you, Persephone.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. You
Well,
wouldn't have known the name of the organization, though. She says, however, suit yourself. If you do not look to do good in this city, to do good by me, then I cannot force you. I would rather deal with people who are interested.
I think you have a wildly different perspective on what's good from everyone else in the city.
I do not necessarily believe that more so, I do not care if what I am doing is good, per se. Do I believe that doing it might cause some good? Yes. But I am only interested in my own personal interests, and I will not lie to you about that.
Well, then it may be in your personal interest to be more careful about who you wave your coin purse around in front of.
Shoots a bit of a glance towards Eric's.
Not everyone in this city can be bought.
If you do not want to do the job, that is that. Kind of
Turn to leave.
Crosses her arms. Says,
my righteous friend here might have his own inhibitions. However, while not everyone in the city can be bought, not everyone in the city is also fool enough to simply swallow everything you've just said to us. It is a nice story, I give you that much, but it seems that you've been taking some liberties. Something tells me you might have been embellishing that story somewhat. Either
Says-
way, if you care to treat us as equals and not pups, well, perhaps we might have been willing to take up with you. But as of now, I think we have other business to attend to. Persephone, Kazara.
She'll say, "Oh, hello."
Yeah,
Hello.
hola.
No, I was lagging a bit. She'll say, "This had nothing to do with undermining you, treating you as you say, pups. I have information to offer, and it is up to you if you do not wish to get that information. But I cannot risk this job being done by people that aren't dedicated to solving the task. I don't want to deal with people that are potentially too self-righteous to get the job done. That is all. It is nothing personnel."
Oh, I wish I had tech thoughts up now. Unfortunate.
She says,
Can you cast it again, or just the one time?
My telepathy only lets me do it once per
Nah.
long rest.
"Alright."
Oh well.
She'll say, "The offer will still be up if you regain your composure. However, as I said, I don't want to take half measures.
I might have cut out for a little bit when you were. Might have cut out a little bit when you were describing. Did you say where these guys were pulled up?
She said she has a contact that she could lead you on with, but she didn't give you a job.
She said the ruidium thing that she needed was in the infirmary, or no, the crematorium.
No.
Locations mixed
No.
up.
The crematorium was mentioned. She didn't tell you where her stolen goods were taken. She didn't give you any. She said she had a connection who would be a good lead for you guys to start with if you were interested in taking up on it. However, she wasn't going to tell you the name of that connection until you got sure of the job.
And what was the thing about the crematorium?
She mentioned that the resource itself, Iridium, had come from the Betrayer's Rise, which is why she was interested in the location when you asked her. One of you mentioned, well, why can't you just go pull it out of the demon box? And she said that she tries to do it over by the crematorium. However, every time she goes over there, someone's onto her, or basically stalking her, without her necessarily wanting them to, and she doesn't want to put herself out in the street and do it herself. She doesn't want to risk herself, basically.
And she doesn't want me to just fucking get her some.
Well, she said she was interested, but it's more about doing the job at this point, because that was the entire point of the job, was getting her some.
Something tells me she also probably just wants us to set straight or kill the guys who stole from her in the first place.
Either way, she says, "If you wish to take up this job later, then we can talk more if you come to your senses. For now, I suppose I should look at other opportunities."
Yeah, that one has a really strong idea of what's good, so I don't know if you're gonna crack that not anytime soon. Might keep in touch, though.
Well, if you were able to crack him, as I said, I can make it worth your while. If you wish, we could talk pricing. And as I said, I do not care how you get the job done. You can be as morally up as you wish about it, as long as the resource that was stolen is returned. Me getting my property back is the only thing that matters to me.
Okay.
At least that's a small bit of straightforwardness.
She says, "Either way, that is up to you if you wish to talk more about it. And how well you're willing to convince your friend."
What was the substance that she mentioned these guys were selling? Gotta write it. Want to write it down properly.
I can spell it out to you after session, but it's called
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sood. It is basically
Would
drugs.
that have rung any bells for Persephone?
I would say like a decent amount of you would understand it. Persephone, definitely. This is essentially an arcane drug. These guys are drug dealers and debt collectors, she says.
Well, how much are you offering off the, like, for it?
Says,
So that I know how to talk to him about it.
alright. As I said, I can give you information, but as far as cold hard cash is concerned, I will give you looks around what might be a good idea. 150 each, and whatever you manage to acquire besides my material. Not to mention contact with some well-connected people. You find many interesting things in a fencing network.
Eridanos would look to Finzyra and Persephone.
I am very aware of that. I mean, yeah, I don't see a problem. We can solve the issue however we see fit, and it is money.
Might be able to convince Eric's, if you word it rightly. Well, we'll have to see.
Alrighty.
Says, I hope you are successful, but if you cannot come back to me soon, I will be forced to reconcile my losses and pursue other avenues. You
Understandable.
understand?
Yep.
I cannot risk this stuff getting out of the city, out of my hands.
Well, my lips are sealed. Don't worry about me.
I hope.
Nice talking with you. Elosia, Sam?
Yes, Eliosio Tofan.
Yes,
I'm
but
okay.
yes.
Pleasure was mine.
Oh, there we are. Well, I see the lever. Can't seem to click it, or
Double click.
yeah, I'm double clicking it.
We're all double clicking it.
Why am I? Okay. I
Wow.
was gonna take you off the map anyways, because I think you guys are.
Yeah, we're.
It's also
Active time
10.
moment.
It's also 10 p.m.
That it is. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Lag.
Hello.
Hola.
It is 10. 1 hour left. But either way, as you guys are hitting it back onto the streets, you all meet up with one another and again.
Well, you seemed really sure of yourself, Eric's. What about what she said tipped you off?
A part that started with illegal and ended with us collecting demon viscera for her.
Well, I mean, there was mention of her personal items that were stolen.
I don't know if everything she said was entirely truthful.
Oh,
Well,
Honestly, I
Even-
like
It
her.
was-
She's got gumption for an outsider. Going to take on the debtors immediately. Really impressive.
Even if she was a bit more reserved with it, I think the important fact of the matter is that we can solve the problem however we'd like. It is some money, and it's just returning items. I mean, we could simply just, like, try to do it diplomatically, and if that doesn't work, then nothing lost, nothing gained.
Oh, that's not gonna
Items
work.
that may not have even been hers to begin with.
Eric's. She had mentioned that if she could not find us to do the task, she might find some other hired help. Perhaps ones who'd be less inclined towards taking the high road, the more peaceful option.
And then I'd wish them the best of luck dealing with the Aurora Watch.
Might it not be better for us instead? We who are so place such value upon the lives of the innocent and also causing as few problems as possible in the city to take it on instead. And, of course, just because we're going to be getting her illicitly acquired goods back doesn't mean that she should simply escape any comeuppance she might have. The only thing we need from her, after all, is the information. After that, she becomes, well, not particularly useful to us.
What sort of comeuppance did you have in mind, friend?
Well, what she's doing is still, well, as you said, illegal. might be that if we can, once we get the information out of her, we could simply, well, perhaps let word slip of some illegal dealings with demon crystals or the like. Or do one better, perhaps simply bring her over to the Aurora Watch ourselves. Something of that nature. Might even be able to get some money out of it from the Watch themselves, assuming they haven't blown the rest of their spending money.
That is an admirable thought, but I get the impression that the Aurora Watch is stretched thin as it is.
Then we could do their job for them. As much as one of their members hates having outsiders interfere with their business, why have them go through all the trouble of having to do their own investigations and let this slip under their noses when we could simply step in, bring down the debt collectors, those who deal in this strange suits, and of course this fencing network, or at least one of its many members, certainly up to no good in this city. We can even put a nice pretty bow upon all three of them. And, more importantly...
Eridanus, as much as a man has to have a code to live by, we have much larger problems to deal with than debt collectors and illegal transfers of goods.
We do.
This isn't our city. This is Persephone's home.
The biggest problem we have right now is hanging from your neck, Eric's.
A problem that we've been granted multiple solutions to.
I feel it important to mention that you're right, it is my home, and it's also my home that is broke into while I was gone. I feel like that's a little important, considering I was planning on busting down their door if I could find them anyway. So...
Well, there we have it. We can exact some vengeance for the destruction of a beautiful home. We can perhaps get in good with the Aurora Watch, and we can leave the city quite a bit nicer than it was before. And most importantly, we learn more about that thing hanging from your neck.
Oh, don't get it twisted. I don't think we work with her at all. I think we do it ourselves, and then when we come back with her goods, we upcharge her. That's just me, though.
If it's more information you'd like, then a certain tiefling who has a room nearby could furnish you with all you desire to know.
Why not? Our options. Why not ask them both? Get information, get money, and speak with the nice scholar. Speaking of which, I should have spoken with her before we left in a huff. Anyways.
Member of the Cobalt Soul.
Well,
perhaps that might garner your interest after all.
I mean, we're outside the building.
Persephone, seems you and I at least share some similarities of thoughts. What about you, Fenzara?
For what?
Well, he's gonna kind of motion over to Eric's, and then this whole business we have with these debt collectors.
I mean, yeah, I thought that was obvious.
Just gonna look more towards Eric's again.
If you want to get involved with internal Bazzoxan, I don't even know what to call it, politics? Troublemaking?
Oh no, politics is the thing we were doing earlier with the band.
Far be it from me to stop you, but I still have one more band member to track down.
We can all still do that.
Yeah, that doesn't stop just because we're also gonna beat the shit out of some debt collectors.
Alosia also never really gave a time limit either.
Our time limit is 2 days. After that, the general and the Drow Dunamancer leave town forever.
Yeah,
Heading
well,
back to Rosona, where they'll no longer be able to furnish the Aurora Watch with their reinforcements.
Yeah, and we're gonna wrap this up in a couple hours. Time isn't really a problem here.
yeah.
It's not like we're starting today.
Eric's, if I may, if we're going to be attempting to draw out a whole horde of demons to possibly terrorize this town, it seems to be we could also clear out a few less than scrupulous members of the society. Seems to be that if we're comfortable with setting demons upon this town, we might as well also be at ease with clearing out some debt collectors and the like.
I'm not comfortable setting demons upon this town, but Varen assured me that it'll be safe for everyone else.
Varen would also perhaps stand to gain, well, more authority for one, more prestige, and perhaps more coin as well, since there will need to be, of course, more pay sent their way.
Perhaps we can just report this Aloysia to Varen forthwith.
You said yourself they're spread thin.
If Varen confirms what this person in the red cap, mystery criminal says, then we track down the debt collectors in our spare time.
What do you need confirmed exactly?
I would like to inquire more about this business they have.
Frankly, the only thing I believe to be true, what she told us, is she has a rival in the crematorium. Everything else was fishy enough. I'd know. I'm part fish.
It certainly was. But, well, I can't see why we can't just rid ourselves of all of these people in a nice, pleasant fashion and get our information while we're at it. I think I will perhaps set to this. See if we can try to at least get some information about that thing hanging from your neck before we decide to head into the Betrayer's Rise, as much as I'm eager to get to it. But for now, we should perhaps find that band member, as you'd said.
I won't stop you if you're interested in pursuing that lead further.
I'm just for the mind that there's no harm in asking questions. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We'll figure it out, but we can just go talk to this last band person. We've got 2 out of, what, 3? Is there 4?
We're kind of burning daylight here.
Yeah.
Let's get going. Find this writer of theirs.
Alright.
TPK and well endowed.
And Drought.
Not great options.
Well endowed.
You know, I really liked Well and Drought as a name, but none of them are drow.
I think it's just the wordplay. That's simply what it is.
Yeah, but the wordplay doesn't matter if it doesn't mean anything.
I mean, yeah, it would definitely work better for us, but I don't think that we're a band yet, regardless
It
of our
wouldn't work
weapons.
better for us either. 1 out of 4 doesn't do it.
Perhaps they'd accept
come
one of my
on.
band name suggestions and put the whole thing behind them like water under a bridge.
It is kind of funny, though.
Your group will be on your way towards the Betrayer's Rise for the...
Wherever the other
Yeah.
band member
Wherever
was.
the writer was,
Yeah.
which was the Rise.
Yep, Betrayer's Rise.
This way.
Yep.
What if we just full send it run in there right now?
Oh my god.
No.
Leave behind everything here. Just go in there.
No.
Abandon all the side quests, go straight in.
Exactly. Nerd would never expect that.
They'll be here in the morning.
Yeah, you can abandon as many side quests as you want. This doesn't hurt me.
I want that information. Okay, I just hope the scholar survives because I gotta go talk to her at some point. Really badly.
Maybe you could do that when we go to the ready room to sleep for the night.
Yep.
You mean
Let me go ahead
when
and
you
set
go
up.
to the ready room? Just
Let
like,
me get this map quickly set up. Boom.
oh my
It's
god.
a very
Go
big map. It
to
might take a second to
Stephanie's
load.
What makes you think that we need to
Fox
pay to
Familiar, Space Whale.
sleep somewhere when we could sleep somewhere for free?
Like 2 silver. Double check to make sure this map is cleared. Whoop.
I've already paid for the rooms, so
Yeah.
Well, then you can
Anyways.
keep on chilling there, broski.
The map.
The map.
As you arrive,
That is a
let me just
map.
let me
Wonder who it
post
could be.
let me post a quick picture of the Betrayer's Rise as you're walking up. This is the picture I was talking about posting, but I decided to not post until you guys got here.
Oh, hello.
New piece of art. I'm just gonna go ahead and find this real quick.
I know, I am.
Wonder who the main character is. Betrayer's Rise. Where's this freaking picture? Here it is. And as you approach to give a description, the Betrayer's Rise is both ominous and beautiful. And I'm just making sure this is not the inside of it, and this is the outside before I read this any further. Cool, okay. The Betrayer's Rise is both ominous and beautiful. Its black walls are carved with intricate reliefs, many of them depicting torture, lifelike grotesques of leering demons high above, peering down at you with contempt. An immense double door forms the entrance. The gate is made of onyx. Guards the aurora stand between you and the demon. Right. Rada.
Rada.
As it's left before you.
I suppose this camp is the most likely place to find our wayward musician.
As you say that, you see in the distance, or rather hear, what sounds like a song being played on a massive lute that just comes to an end as you arrive, and some Aurora watch you clapping. Just... And the bugbear, who seems to take this massive, like, weaponized lute and just stow it to his side for a moment as he pulls out a notepad and starts writing in it while tapping his chin in thought.
Seeing the incredibly whatever the fuck that is loot, Persephone is gonna go up to him. Hey, are you Kella's guy?
Huh? Not anymore, I'm not.
Alright, so that's a
I'm a
yes.
solo act now.
Before I get into it, what is that?
What you talking about?
That
This?
amazing
Pulls
loot,
up the
yes.
great loot. Oh yeah, it's my great loot. So, he pulls it out. He's a bugbear. He's massive. This is like more than half his size. This is huge. And he kind of holds it up and says, doubles as a weapon when I need it. It's sick, isn't it?
Anything great about it besides size?
Well, plays good music and it hits people hard. What else can you ask for?
I know you
It's
just
almost
finished, but
Discussion.
would a demonstration be too much?
Well, about that, I'm revising my song currently. He kind of takes his notebook and taps his chin with a pencil he has, and he says, I've been performing all day, but I just can't get this song right. Something feels like missing. I'm not sure.
Mind if I take a look at it?
Kind of looks down at it for a second. Make a persuasion.
Alright, I do play.
You make it with advantage.
Hell yeah. 1d6 extra, thank you, fucking
You
martial
do have your
advance.
loot out, I believe.
It's around, it's got a carrying case.
Yeah, he can see the loot. That's what matters here for the advantage.
Mhm.
With a 22, he says, fine, here. He says, it's been tricky to come up with songs ever since I came with solo. Seems like you've heard about Kella and Brock. Or Ziggy.
Yeah, something about name trouble, right?
says, yeah, I had the best name, and they told me that they decided to think and tell me how I was come up with names and whatnot when I'm the talent behind this band. I'm the one who writes all the songs. And all they ever do is take my notes and they write in it and edit my songs and change them to be more fitting to our band.
Well, I've heard the other two names, and they were something. What's yours?
Brick Chaos.
Prick Chaos?
Yep.
I guess that'd probably come out more when you play.
Edgy, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
That's the point. And they said it was bad.
As I'm just making small talk, I'll look over the notes he has.
It seems to... I'm trying to look at it. Reading my own notes here. The notebook seems... There's a good song in there. The song itself is a solo song known as Shadow of... A deep song about those who aren't consecrated because of social standing. Essentially standing in the Luxon's shadow, despite it being a symbol of... The song itself, however, seems to have multiple scratches and marks, as if he has changed and edited a bunch of them. He can't find a good equilibrium song. He doesn't know where to really go with it, as he described.
I think I might know what your issue is.
And what's that?
Well, I mean, this song is about, the societal struggle, right? Doesn't really make sense to only have one main voice while it's going. Not literally a voice, but you want the upper class lighter tones, and then you want, well, what you have to offer, the heavier stuff that brings it to light. It just doesn't really work as a solo song.
He says, make a... I'm trying to think here. He says, so you're saying that I should go back to them then? You're saying I ain't good enough to perform alone?
That's not what I'm saying. You carve your own path, man. But the theme you want to portray here just doesn't work when you're all in like that.
Well, you said you play. Go on. Prove to me that this is better as a duo act. Or even more. I'll perform on my own and you'll perform on yours.
Yeah. You do yours as written, I'll do something lighter. I'm sure it'll shine out.
You're on. And he pulls out this massive lute and lays it on his... planting the bottom of it into the ground. And he says, on your mark.
I'm gonna reach around, grab it, get it out of the case, but hesitate a little, looking around at a big crowd, but...
Rowatch gonna look over and just hear a whisper, this should be good. Yeah, I'd say, Morphin Zyra, you'd catch that with your observant trait. Reading lips.
Nice.
Alright. You ready?
Born ready.
Bring it.
This is Crit Chaos, and this is Shadow in the Luck. And with that, the song begins. As it starts to play, I need you to make me a performance check.
Yep. Martial Adepti, my savior.
He plays a deep... He manages to make metal out of lute music. Just, playing it aggressively and stingingly. It's good, but you definitely get the feeling that this would be improved by its, by counterparts. And you, pulling out your own instrument, manage to fill in all of those blanks that you feel, putting in a more melancholic and lighter tone, occasionally adding vocals here and there where they're necessary in the song's lyrics. By the time the song concludes, the Overwatch all around her, and if you even toss you some coins, you'll get, say 10 golden tips. And he says, huh, that wasn't half bad.
Yeah, see what I mean?
remind me of Kella almost.
I mean, I think that's a compliment. She seems like a decent lady.
She's a good singer, that's for sure. Fine. If you think this is better as one good show should be something. Maybe then I can go ahead and gauge it for myself from there.
Well, if you want a good show, Kella and Ziggy will be waiting for you at one of the sacrifice engines tomorrow.
Right,
State sponsored.
like-
Sure, they'll pay you good enough.
ooh, that sounds like a metal place to perform.
Oh, the
Sacrifice
most
engine.
metal.
That'll be fun. Alright. I better see you
Hey,
all there.
Out of curiosity, how do you make those sounds with that? Those are really heavy.
It's a secret. Call it my rage.
Secret good enough to tell?
Nope.
Oh, come on, man.
Maybe if you show up to our performance and you do good enough, I'll let you in on.
You got yourself a deal.
And he'll pick up all of his supplies and say, "Show's moving, folks. Catch you all around." And he'll stand up and begin to walk off with his supplies. Oh yeah, and you better come to us with a good name tomorrow. I ain't letting them pick the name, that's for sure.
Yeah,
If mine
I've
ain't getting
heard it
chosen,
from all three of them.
screw you too. He'll walk on.
And I'm going to immediately turn to the Aurora Watch crowd. If any of you so much as breathe a word of this, we're gonna have words.
Kind of look over and say, "Fine. It was good music. Better than what he was performing."
Thank you.
See? Told you. We're good.
And with that, you all.
Oh my god, Eric's is up there. Oh my god.
Eric's.
I had some time to kill.
Eric's. As you approach towards the entrance of the Betrayer's Rise, you see blood-soaked stairs of this black rock temple. The guards standing before are going to just look over, kind of stop you in your tracks and say, "Sir, I believe you are a little lost."
Not lost, just taking a look around.
Well,
I'll be back here soon with writ from the Taskmaster.
is that so? Tascan's got business for you?
We're headed into the Betrayer's Rise soon.
And I'll, I guess this will be during the song that is happening.
Yeah.
I'll take out my Jewel of Three Prayers and I'll just see if it feels any different close to this place of evil.
You definitely feel that draw from before, that comfort, that want, that understanding. This is definitely where you're meant to be. Where it wants you to be.
Has anyone returned from the temple recently?
No returners yet, but some people that went in. We're hoping to see some faces soon.
Cobalt Soul Group.
More than that, some Aurora Watch went in with them.
I hope you don't have to wait long.
Yeah.
Then I would head back to meet everyone down below.
They'll kind of loosen up after you mention the task hand and go back to their previous position. Just rest.
Call them the Taskmaster.
The Taskmaster.
Hell yeah, bruh.
How high up does this rise actually go? Based on the art.
Oh boy.
Big.
Let me see if it has it written down in the book real quick here. Is not specifically wrote, but let me go ahead and check here some things. 10, 20, 30. 20. I'd say it'd be the stairs leading up to the door, about 4 off the ground. But the temple itself is built into the side of a mountain, almost. You see a massive, intricate ring display on the top of it, displayed in the art for the beginning of this chapter.
As the Overwatch goes at the mention of the Cobalt Soul, Eridon would ask, do you know how many of those scholars had gone inside? The ones from the Cobalt Soul.
I believe roughly 3. There was a 4th that was with them, but she cowered out last second and then ran away.
Did you manage to catch from where they'd hailed?
Didn't ask too much. They had permission from the task hand, so that's what mattered.
Noted.
But they'll just let anyone in these days.
Indeed.
You ask me, we should just drop the whole mountain on this place. Lock anything in there forever. People are too keen on studying it, though.
I'm gonna head back and join the others.
Damn scholars. So, you leave.
Oh, okay. That's it. No.
Not specifically pointed towards you.
No. That's it. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, you could try it, but there's like 18 guards in the scene.
I can't die. Don't worry.
Brock turns around and sends you floored with the loot. Audience. And with that, assuming your group leaves the Betrayer's Rise.
Before we do, I'll return to the others and I'll say it.
How did it go with the musician?
About as well as it could have. He'll be there tomorrow. Now all we have to do is fix the name problem. His wasn't much better. It was, what, Prick Chaos? Something like that.
I'm assuming you knew it.
I felt a strange pull on the Jewel of Three Prayers. The Betrayer's Rise is definitely the place we're supposed to be.
Indeed.
That's great, I guess.
For
We should probably
is a
get...
better word.
Maybe. We should probably get back down, get some rest up, train at something before Big Demon Horde tomorrow.
Certainly. If the big demon horde doesn't kill us, whatever's behind those massive doors certainly will.
Oh, come now, Eric. Even you hardly believe that at this point.
It may be hard to believe, but I'm no more mortal than any of you.
Well, at the very least, if we manage to bring a wagon in there, we can at least drag your corpse out for... Well, let's get going.
Pretty.
What a grim thought.
All right.
This is a grim place.
So, in the realm of nightly activities, Fogholm's meditation thing.
Mm-hmm. That where your group would like to head, or?
I mean, I'm just listing it out there because I want to do that.
I am down.
At the same time,
I want to go speak with the Cobalt Soul before I lose my chance forever.
At the same time, some bow training, if I can fit it in, would not go amiss. But that'll be after, if anything.
Mm-hmm. You can do that in for the night.
Is that the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Dex, Con, and Strength are the 3 scores to gain.
I want to do the Dex
800.
one too.
Well, what I'll ask is the group interested in heading to Foghome's nightly meditation?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. What path would you guys like to take to get there?
I mean, just direct makes sense to me. Just,
Well, I mean, you guys could pass by the crematorium if you would like to on the way, is what I'm wondering.
Or go to the town square.
I was
Yeah.
thinking we could go. Or some variation.
It just depends if you want to pass by the crematorium on your way there or not.
I don't care that much. Whatever everyone else wants to do.
Get a nice lung full of burnt corpses.
I am impartial.
Well, someone needs partiality, so the first thing I hear is going to be what happens.
I am very partial.
What are you partial towards?
I think we should go past B8.
What the fuck?
What's that place house?
What the? I was gonna say, why the fuck?
The
That's the
wacky
most
trap.
like.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
The
maybe
You-
not the first thing after all.
Did we get a beat on how long? I forget if Awkward said how long it was going to be. Like a whole night thing?
He's a pretty.
How about this
He'd stay up pretty late.
Eridanus would
It's
agree on
whole
that.
night. It's whole night. It's whole night.
Oh shit! You know what?
All right.
I'd want to stop. I'd want to stop
crematorium.
by. I'd want to stop by B7, if that's the case.
Okay, town square.
Let's go. We go to
It's like-
town square. No, town square, and then we do the route that Eric's pointed out.
No.
No.
Okay, town square, and then you'll head up the Foghome leg home. Anyways, heading back towards the ready room to get the map back up.
I'm going to take this time to go to the bathroom really quickly.
Please do.
ADHD sounds.
Look, I got a lot of tokens to move around. All right.
Where's that dial between?
Did you like my idea of playing the drum really badly so he thought he did really good?
I'll show you what
That's
I
what
thought
I
you
was
guys were
hoping
going
would
to
happen.
do after session.
I was actually begging my dice to fail.
Oh. Dude.
We're going to destroy Persephone's hometown by the end of this.
No. No, you're not.
It's going to be totally overrun with demons.
Oh my god. Well, go talk to your person. buddy.
Heading back
Ooh.
into the ready room.
I
Hi.
have
Pretty
one
much.
mission: find this person and learn something before they die or disappear.
Hello.
They're going to be here when we get back from the Betrayer's Rise.
I don't trust this at this point, and
Listen.
listen. I need to
Remember
figure
the
out. I need to
Cobalt
figure out.
Soul and one of the 3 factions that are a major player in Marquette. Marquette is a part of the world that's got stabbed by a god. It's a big hole to some other dimension, which we may or may not be the title of the
What are you
campaign.
talking about?
Bring back what is happening.
What are you Eric, he's speaking some nonsense right now. I don't understand a word of it.
Oh my god. Anyways, Eridanus, what's your first move as you
I'm
arrive
going
here?
to go up to Prima, who has already seen me, I think, 3 times today,
Yep.
and I'm going to ask her.
I guess it's your turn.
The scholar who was here, the one with the cobalt soul, by the
Hmm.
name of Question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if she's here?
Yeah, she's in her room right now.
Perfect.
One, I can
must
go
have a
get her.
chat with her. Yes, please.
Sure. Who should I tell is here for her?
You can give her my name.
That works.
A
X.
friend of Eric's.
Got it.
We're familiar.
Got it.
At least I didn't have to say anything. Fuck out of
Here's
that.
some
would you
mumbling.
have
in
said?
there.
Huh?
What did you say?
Prima will head back behind the counter, and then you'll see a blue-robed tiefling with what looks like a bandana or scarf wrapped around her neck walk out, kind of book to the side right now. looks like she, hair down, just getting ready for rest, really. We're about to, and she kind of walks out and says, it's all of you again. Pleasure
See
to
all of
make
us.
well, mainly looking to Eric's and saying, these are the ones you told me about.
The very same. These are my companions, Eridanis, Fenzira, and Persephone.
Walks up
So-
to shake all of your hands in a concordant row and says, pleasure to meet all of you. My name is Question. I am with the Cobalt Soul. Can't really get to Persephone. Yeah, perfect. He just says, if you want to talk, we could continue this outside.
Perhaps it might be best.
Would be good to get some fresh air, as fresh as it gets.
Okay. Right.
He says, so what's the business then?
I have traveled very, very far looking for answers that have proven elusive,
Oh,
and
wow.
you might be able to provide some of those answers.
I can only hope to try.
You are with the Cobalt Soul. I can see as much on your arm. I guess, assuming your token was that simple.
Yeah.
That's me.
What?
Do you know of any... There was another branch out near Palmaflora.
Oh.
Do you know what they were... if they were studying anything
Ooh,
out there?
That's a tricky one. The Cobalt Soul has branches all throughout the world of Exandria. Every continent, every major city. Very well spread. But let me think.
Yeah.
Let me
Ooh.
think.
Let me think. There were no thoughts in her head.
I know that.
I'm from Marquette, which is on the other side of the world from where Menagerie Coast would be. They do trade on occasion, but it's a bit above my pay grade. You see, the Cobalt Soul is a bit of a... Even though they house some of the most knowledge, and it takes a lot of work to be privy to that kind of knowledge, to sit in on those meetings, so
Very
not too
well.
keen on the rest of the world.
You have locations, you say, across the world.
Hmm.
Where did... Well... Are there any that might be close by?
Here in Jorhas? Unfortunately, no. The Cobalt Soul doesn't reach this far, and the Quinn Dynasty isn't too keen on letting the organization in.
Yet you'd sent in... Yet they had the sense to send 4 scholars in to the Betrayer's Rise.
We don't have any conservatories out here, is what I mean. But this was more of a private job for our group. We study and collect information in the Betrayer's Rise, and then we get to keep what we find, and as long as we give it to the task hand so that it can be returned to Rosona, we're fine. At least that's the idea.
Your group that went into the Betrayer's Rise...
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything that they had noted before? Any other information of notes that, well, might be lost?
We had some notes collected, but this was more routine than anything. Personally, I was here to... looks over to Eric's. Did you tell them about the mythic resonance theory?
Not yet, but perhaps you could fill in the dots.
She says, oh, wow, wonderful. You see, I have this theory. My comrades didn't really, but the history surrounding this place, the romance,
You
defending
cut
the
out.
world. Huh?
You cut out a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
The history surrounding this place, the romance of possible odds, sacrificing everything for the sake of defending the world, all done for people who could hardly ever know them, never think of them, never able to thank them, simply because it was the right thing to do. And now, around here, seems to me like the Aurora Watch are unwittingly following this trend of past heroes. It's like their heroic actions have resonated through history, all up to this moment. That was my interest coming here.
How long have you been observing this for exactly?
That theory sounds similar to what that Dunamancy mage mentioned in that meeting.
Who?
Shut
There was
the fuck up.
talk of. Oh. Wait, how do you know that?
You mentioned it to me,
Yeah, I think you
which is
told
why
Tanzara.
which is why my elbow is immediately going into Eric's, and I'm being like, "Shut the fuck up!"
Oh yeah, he did listen. I guess he did listen
I
to
was
that.
going to look over all of you and say, hey, you don't have to share it if you... But, I've been studying it for as long as I've been here. They were just here on information duty.
I'm wondering if it's something that happened recently, maybe within the week.
It sounds like this is something that's been happening for a long time.
This has been happening over centuries, ages.
Okay.
Oh well.
Any
It's gonna smell
changes?
Spenzira.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me?
It could be lifetimes.
Could be.
Varen has been reincarnated at least once, and Lythir the Dunamancer has taken quite an interest in this resonance.
Interesting. I'll have to keep an eye and an ear out for that person. But, Eric's here said that all of you might be interested in potentially helping me out with my theories and potentially, if you would, working with me at some point.
Uh-huh.
We might be. Go on.
She says, you see, while we were here to explore the Betrayer's Rise, we also had an alternative task to take care of. Part of the agreement to let us explore the Betrayer's Rise involved investigating an estate known as Python. On the corner of the city. Did that come through?
Very
Not too
choppy.
well.
Okay. I think my mic is like really bad right now. Hold on. I'm trying to freaking...
Lower your
Give me a
sensitivity.
second.
Lower the noise suppression, maybe?
Yeah.
I had Hello.
That's really quiet.
Hold on. It'll get louder here in a second. Lottie.
Oh.
Is it louder now?
Yeah.
That was laggy. Hold on. Yeah, you can hear me good?
Yep.
I think my headset's just going out. I need to buy a new one here soon. I'll look into it after session. I don't think noise suppression's gonna help, unfortunately. But she says, part of the agreement to go to the Betrayer's Rise involved investigating a place known as the Hythanos Estate. Here in the city on the outskirts. We had a contact or found someone who was related to the Den, member of the Wastewalker family. And we were hoping to investigate them and then go see what happened to the estate, potentially help the guards that were sent there to investigate. Fortunately, though, the other kobolds aren't back yet, meaning the job kind of falls on me, and I don't think I can really handle it myself.
It's my turn to elbow Fenzira.
Don't worry, I heard the name. I already know what you're talking about.
Perhaps we can help with that.
Yeah. I have something of theirs.
Do you?
Yeah. Family heirloom.
Oh, that's wonderful. The person I was supposed to be meeting with is actually in a room. Get them real quick, wake them up.
Okay.
It'd only be a second, just to... You want to give it back to them?
Sure.
Alright, here. I'll go get them real quick. You can talk to them more about this task, and if you're interested, we can talk about payment or something. Kind of... Excuse me, miss.
Oh, yeah. No, I get it. Too scared to walk around the whale. Very fair.
The whale is fearsome.
This person seems much more reliable than Aloysia Telfon. And she's not caught up in illegal business.
Still not more helpful, though.
Dude, it's been like 5 minutes.
When she returns, I'll ask her to explain to you everything she knows about the Jewel of Three Prayers.
Eridon's going to write some stuff down in his Book of Shadows, mostly crossing stuff out.
She'll
Well,
come
Jewel
back.
stuff aside, Finn has been holding on to that dagger for a while, so nice to get
We
her out of the
should
way.
bring it back.
Oh my god, it's Shaggy.
As you see her
Yeah!
walk out, haggard figure who's kind of a younger human man who kind of rubs his eyes, a bit tired, and says, "These are the people, Mr. Irvin." And she'll kind of say, "You don't have to call me Mr., you know." And she says, "My bad." He says, No, it's fine. So, got business with my uncle, and that is where we're gonna end session for now."
God!
Alright, everyone,
15
ready
minutes
the
early!
stickers!
It's early!
I didn't want to toss him out completely.
Dick.
We finished the bounty.
Oh my god.
I
Oh,
demand
come
my
on.
final
What's the
5
clue?
minutes.
Y'all guys have potentially 3 side quests you guys have to complete. Start completing some
We
quests.
just
so you can
finished
talk
one.
about- No, you didn't. That was like you got your level up for killing the Gloomstalker.
Yeah.
Can't we get
first
another
level
one
up.
for really
What
finishing
about a
it?
second
What about
level up?
second level up?
No, I'm gonna give you your second breakfast. Starve.
Alright, now I get an entire week to think of how I want to speak to Shaggy. Got it?
Like, it's not that deep, man.
I didn't have
He was here the whole time. I could have just
He
knocked on
was?
every door.
You could have walked around the building to the windows and saw him.
Come on, guys. What were you doing with that spectator token?
I
Oh my
mean-
god.
Not much.
I mean, I
Clearly.
went by the windows. I just, didn't say anything.
I'm gonna be real, he looks generic enough, I thought he was just a regular ass person. I didn't hover over the name tag.
Urban Waste Walker. Very
He was here
convenient.
just in case one of the other rivals ate shit and died.
More so than I just wanted him. I want to exist. There's no reason to throw him out entirely. You know, he's got perfect business being here at the Hythanos estate.
You know what I realized?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find our quote-unquote rivals, AO, Jabe, and group, and
Hey,
tell them
job.
not to associate with Aloysia Telfin.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say she's probably gonna recruit them.
She
But
probably
I don't know.
will.
They're probably not. They're probably. I mean, do you really think they're unscrupulous enough to take on that job?
Well,
Money.
she's gonna go
I
look for
can't
like
wait.
the next best available group, and
I can't
They're
wait
right
to raid
there.
the debtors anyway and then extort her. Easy
I'm
peasy.
saying we go in there, get rid of the debtors. We go in there, we screw with her as well. Everyone loses but us, and we get everything we want.
Surely nothing can go wrong.
Okay, look. If we're gonna get eviscerated and everything again, might as well do it dealing with some drug dealers and debtors.
I was gonna be looking into this anyway, so financial incentive, no problems.
Meth dealer, scare meth dealer.
Ah.
Oh, I'm glad I got to end on a cliffhanger. The
You
Shaggy
bitch.
cliffhanger.
I fucking hate
The
you.
Shagger.
Okay, let's not call it that, please.
the
Anyways,
Shagger.
I'll post some of my quest notes here for